the door, I'm home at last, and I'm soaking through and through. And then you handed me a towel, and all I see is you. And even if my house falls down now, I wouldn't have a clue, because you're near me. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And just to be with you is having the best day of my life. And I want to thank you for giving me the best day of my life. And just to be with you is having the best day of my life.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica, transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne, serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James, serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube at Nationwide 90 FM Live 2, RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock.
From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tawna Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Monday, April 20, 2026. Viral social media video shows schoolboys physically assaulting schoolmate in bathroom. Murders down by 27% since the start of the year. Music producer Javi to make his first court appearance on Wednesday over shooting incident at the Big Wall Soca event. In regional news, Bermuda suspends a planned fuel price increase amid ongoing Ukraine and Iran wars. In international news, Japan expects a second bigger tsunami after massive earthquake off northeast coast. In sports, day 2 of West Indies Championship to resume at Sabina Park later on Monday. And in business, Air Canada to suspend flights from Toronto and Montreal to New York's JFK due to surging jet fuel costs. The details after the break.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. There is disquiet this morning about the actions of boys seen physically assaulting a schoolmate inside a building. In a video widely shared on social media, one boy is seen grabbing another boy by the front of the shirt and demanding to know when monies that have been owed for some time will be paid. The boys appear to be dressed in all blue uniforms. There are 6 boys in the video, including the one being abused. It appears as if the video was taken by a 7th boy. The main aggressor is taller and physically bigger than the victim. That main aggressor is supported by another boy who has what appears to be a belt in his hand. Both those boys and 3 others encircle the victim. The main aggressor slaps the victim in the face 7 times with his right hand. He also slaps him in the face once with the left hand and also slaps him in the chest once. The aggressor with the belt uses it to deliver 2 blows. At one point in the distressing video, the victim is told to drop his hands to his side as he uses them to shield his face from the strikes. We warn that the audio may sound distressing to some.
Boy, when you wanna get the money? When you wanna get the money? How you say that? Yeah, who also in the money? When you wanna get the money? How you say that? And some of them big man. When you wanna get the money? Answer the question, man. When you wanna get the money? How you say that? The two of them take care of the boy, when you wanna see our president, those moves. When you wanna get the money? Oh, you wanna see our president? Tomorrow, who wanna get the money? Where you? You wanna see our president? All right.
Audio of a male student at what appears to be a high school being slapped repeatedly and struck with a belt by a group of schoolmates. Nationwide News has been working overnight to confirm the identity of the school and whether it's aware of the incident. Up to news time, we were unsuccessful. Now, the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is reporting a 27% decline in murders between January 1 and April 19 this year when compared to the corresponding period in 2025. According to the JCF, 159 people were murdered over the first 108 days of 2026. That's 60 fewer than the 219 murdered over the same period in 2025. There were 150 shooting incidents recorded between January 1 and April 19 this year, 82 fewer than over the same period last year. That's a decline of 35%. The police say that over the review period, rape declined by 13%, robbery by 22%, and break-ins by 13%. According to the police, serious violent crime in the country is down 21%, while accusatory crimes, which rose in the calendar year 2025, are down by 16% so far this year. Meanwhile, the police say murders are trending at a 5-year low so far in 2026. Between January 1 and April 18 this year, 159 murders were recorded. In 2025, the number was 219. In 2024, the number came in at 337. In 2023, the number was 383, and in 2022, the number was 451. And the police say shootings are also at a 5-year low. Over the first 108 days this year, 150 incidents of shooting were recorded. The number over the review period in 2025 was 232. In 2024, it was 329. In 2023, it was 317, and in 2022, it was 358. Nationwide News understands that music producer Javi will make his first court appearance on Wednesday to answer multiple charges against him in relation to the shooting incident at the Big Wall Soca event on April 12 this year. Javi, whose given name is Javel Morrison, has been charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and wounding with intent. The charges stem from an alleged altercation with vlogger Jay Frey, whose given name is J.D. Richards. When our news center reached out on Sunday to Said Bernard, one of the three attorneys representing Morrison, he declined to comment.
No comment at this time.
Alongside Bernard, Morrison is represented by King's Counsel Peter Champagny and Richard Lynch. Jay Frey is represented by attorney-at-law Isaac Buchanan. Efforts to reach Buchanan were unsuccessful, but he has publicly slammed the charges against his client, accusing law enforcement of punishing him for defending himself. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has called for an increase in urbanization across Jamaica in order to minimize the use of land space. He made the call while addressing the church service to mark the 50th anniversary of the National Housing Trust, NHT.
To increase urbanization. Now, I know when I say this, I can see the bells going off. Urbanization, such a bad thing. And the usual critique you will hear. And I encourage persons to think before they criticize. Think before they jump to a conclusion. You know, Singapore is 100% urbanized. But if you were to compare the urban environment of Singapore to the environment of Jamaica, which would be better in terms of cleanliness and sanitation, in terms of efficiency and ease of movement, in terms of general productivity of the entire society?
And Dr. Holness says once the NHT has delivered on its commitment to deliver 41,000 homes, the government will pivot to focus on improving the country's urban spaces. He says a critical urban infrastructure needs renewal and redevelopment if it wants to achieve first world status.
Urbanization does not mean the destruction of the environment. Urbanization, in fact, means a proper plan to minimize the use of land space to preserve the untouched environment. And that is the way in which I'd want Jamaicans to start to think about urbanization. You know, the history of Kingston flows out of Port Royal. It is the destruction of Port Royal because of the earthquake that caused Kingston to evolve. It was not a planned city. And it will take this generation for the next 50 years to properly plan our urban spaces.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has blamed last Friday's traffic snarl in the corporate area on outdated, inadequate infrastructure across the city. Motorists across Kingston and St. Andrew were caught in a gridlock along several of the city's major thoroughfares, stretching from sections of Oxford and Trafalgar Road in New Kingston to Barbican and Constant Spring Road. Some motorists reported standstills that lasted up to 2 hours. The Prime Minister says the city's infrastructure is to be blamed.
The recent traffic gridlock that we experienced is just a symptom of not just poorly planned infrastructure, but aged infrastructure and infrastructure that simply cannot meet the demands being placed on it.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. And a professor of urban planning and public policy at the University of Technology, UTech, Carol Archer, says a lack of proper urban planning was largely responsible for last Friday's traffic gridlock in the corporate area.
Planning has failed. We've failed with the whole concept of land use planning, spatial planning. Yes, and one of the considerations of spatial planning is how we move people, goods, and services in our cities, and we have not effectively addressed that. One way in which we can measure is the availability of efficient and effective, well-funded public transportation. Two, reducing the reliance on private motor vehicles. Three, managing water runoff during times of rain events.
Professor Archer is urging the authorities to embrace the concept of the 15-minute city or the walkabout city.
when you're developing a Barbican, rather than ensuring that you only have the high rise, and you also bring in that area as part of the development services, so people won't have to get in their car and drive if you're going to supermarket, or drive if you're going to access basic services.
Professor Carol Archer, she was speaking during an interview with Nationwide News. Meanwhile, Professor Archer is lamenting the poor state of the drainage infrastructure across sections of the corporate area.
Take, for example, Constant Spring Road. They have resurfaced Constant Spring, but they have not paid enough attention with the drainage system within that road network, and we see what is happening. Also, we noticed too that with the development, the paving over of sections of Kingston, they're bringing more volume of water. And we've been talking about this at least, I know, for the last 20 years, when we had the Water Resource Authority prepare the master plan as to how these issues should be addressed. And they have not been addressed.
Carol Archer, Professor of Urban Planning and Public Policy at UTech. Public commentator and veteran journalist Durant Pate is cautioning the government against imposing movement restrictions in response to the spike in gas prices. He says the measure could have negative consequences for economic productivity.
What you look at is containment, which, yes, but look at the fact that we are in an economic slump. We need aggregate demand. People need to be producing. When you restrict that, you're restricting aggregate demand, you're restricting growth. And bear in mind that the economy is slated to contract this year.
Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has warned Jamaicans to brace for increased prices at the pumps, as the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam will no longer be able to absorb the daily price increases caused by the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. The U.S.-Iran war and its subsequent effects on the Strait of Hormuz continues to negatively impact global oil prices. While acknowledging the financial impact of increased gas prices, Pate says the Holness administration should consider promoting stronger energy conservation measures.
My suggestion is more carpooling, strategic pickup points for these big corporate companies and factories. And there are other consummation measures. For example, public education. People need to be turning off their lights at night. You don't need your light to be on even while you're sleeping. Things of that nature. But a whole-scale lockdown, I don't think is really practical. We need to be going for growth.
Durant Pate, he was speaking on Nationwide's weekly review show, The Week That Was, on Sunday. Meanwhile, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, Dr. Lucian Jones, says that the country is now buckling under the weight of too many vehicles on the roads. He says this was a contributing factor to last Friday's traffic gridlock in the corporate area.
The second issue, of course, is the number of cars on our roads. If memory serves me correctly, at a recent National Road Safety meeting, Gary McKenzie, ACP Gary McKenzie, made mention that we have nearly 800,000 cars in the country at this time, up from about 600,000 maybe a couple of years ago. And most of those are in Kingston. But the issue is really the huge increase in the numbers of vehicles we have on the nation's roads. And of course, majority of the population lives in Kingston. We have pretty near 1 million people live in Kingston. To deal with the huge increase in the number of cars is a different problem. Because either you increase in numbers of buses or trains to satisfy the demand for people to move around. And it's a huge part of the economy, the whole transportation sector. And that's why we have the problem now with the increase in the gas prices facing us. So it's a huge problem.
Dr. Lucian Jones, the Vice Chairman of the NRSC, speaking during an interview with Nationwide News. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:17.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
In regional and international news this morning, the government of Bermuda has suspended a planned increase in retail fuel prices for 6 months. The increase was due to take effect last Thursday. Home Affairs Minister Alexa Lightburn says the move is in response to ongoing global conditions affecting energy markets, including sustained volatility in oil and refined product prices. She pointed to the ongoing war in Ukraine, disruption to maritime shipping routes, and the cumulative effects of climate-related supply shocks. Lightburn says that by keeping fuel prices at current levels, households will be shielded from rising costs for groceries, electricity, and other essentials. As part of the arrangement, the Minister of Finance will provide targeted customs duty relief to licensed fuel importers to offset any verified revenue shortfall. And in international news, an initial 16-inch tsunami has been recorded at the Miyako port in Japan's Iwate prefecture, following Monday's 7.5 earthquake off the northeast coast. Officials warn a second tsunami, forecast to be as high as 10 feet, may be on the way. According to the Japan Meteorological Agency, JMA, the quake hit on Monday at 4:53 p.m. local time in waters off Japan's Pacific coast. It was felt across a wide area, shaking buildings in Tokyo hundreds of miles to the south. The JMA urged the people to immediately evacuate from coastal regions and riverside areas. The agency warned that tsunami waves were expected to hit repeatedly. Prime Minister Sane Takaishi said the government had set up a crisis management team and was working to assess the impact of the earthquake. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
From the biggest trucks to the biggest energy, Nationwide keeps it moving. If you love the vibes, come and lock in with us for real.
World boss, leave a prison could stop me.
Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
Practice, God me say you watch you of me practice.
Time now for your morning sports. Jamaica Scorpions will resume on 3:58 for 4 on day 2 of their West Indies Championship clash against Barbados Pride at Sabina Park on Monday, holding a strong position after an impressive opening day with a bat. Brad Barnes, 34, and Romain Morris, 9, are the not-out batsmen, both tasked with building on a solid foundation laid by the Scorpions' top order. Captain John Campbell made 96, narrowly missing out on a century, while Kurt McKenzie brought up a superb 114 to anchor the innings. Javel Glenn also made a valuable contribution with 65. For the Pride, Joan Lane has been the most effective bowler so far, claiming 2 wickets. Meanwhile, at Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, Trinidad and Tobago Red Force will resume on 85 for 6 in response to the Leeward Islands Hurricanes' first innings total of 131. In the other match, the Guyana Harpy Eagles are in a promising position at 130 for 2, replying to the Windward Islands Volcanoes 151 at the Antigua Recreation Ground. Leaders Montego Bay United tightened their grip on the top of the Ren Nefi Jamaica Premier League after registering their 20th win of the season with a convincing 4-1 victory over Racing United at Jarrett Park on Sunday. The dominant performance underlined Montego Bay United's title credentials as they controlled the tempo from early and capitalized on defensive lapses to secure another emphatic result. Meanwhile, Treasure Beach earned a hard-fought 2-2 draw against Caribbean champions Mount Pleasant at Stets, showing resilience to come away with a point against one of the league's strongest sides. Elsewhere, Tivoli Gardens secured a solid 2-0 win over Dunby Holden, while Waterhouse edged Harborview 1-0. Portmore United also collected 3 points with a 2-0 victory against Chapelton Maroons, and Malines United produced one of the standout results of the round, blanking Arnott Gardens 3-0. The Los Angeles Lakers brushed aside injury concerns to open their NBA playoff campaign with an impressive victory on Saturday. The 18-time champions were without key players Luka Doncic, Austin Reeves, and Max Kleber, but 41-year-old LeBron James produced another fine display in a 107-98 win over the Houston Rockets. The Cleveland Cavaliers, Denver Nuggets, and New York Knicks were the other winners on day one of the playoffs, while the Phoenix Suns and Orlando Magic won the play-in tournament to book their places. And that's it for your morning sports.
This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon.
In business this morning, a Florida-based budget carrier Spirit Airlines could be forced to liquidate its assets due to skyrocketing fuel prices. Spirit operates more than 500 daily flights to more than 60 destinations, including at Fort Lauderdale Hollywood International Airport and Miami International Airport. The low-cost airline has been facing financial headwinds for several years. Recently, pilot and flight attendant unions made concessions to help it survive. The airline was also trying to bring in higher spending customers with bigger seats and bundled fares to compete with rivals. Spirit has also been downsizing its fleet and pulling routes in an attempt to get back on track. It's been trying to recover from its second bankruptcy in less than a year. Spirit isn't the only airline to be impacted by rising fuel costs. Many airlines have increased ticket prices and bag fees in response. Meanwhile, Air Canada says it will suspend its flights from Toronto and Montreal to New York's John F. Kennedy International Airport later this year due to surging jet fuel costs. The airline said in an email the suspension will begin on June 1, with plans to resume on October 25. An Air Canada spokesperson says some lower profitability routes and flights are no longer economical as jet fuel prices have doubled since the start of the Iran conflict. The spokesperson says Air Canada will monitor and review its network to ensure that routes are meeting profitability targets. Air Canada says customers affected by the suspension will be contacted with alternate travel plans. The airline will continue to offer service to New York's LaGuardia Airport and New York Liberty International Airport in New Jersey from 6 cities, including Toronto and Montreal. Foreign exchange trading now. The Jamaican dollar will open against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $159.12. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican will open selling for an average $116.04. And finally, the Jamaican will begin trading for an average $215.39 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
Obtain high-quality maps and a drone aerial image services through the National Land Agency. The time by the NLA is
6:28.
Power in great moments. If you have financial needs, Chris and Charles will fix them for you. Power in great moments since 1992. Oh, we have it all. Power in great moments. Relax, you got Chris and Charles. Oh, we have it all. When you think loans, think Chris and Charles.
Morning after morning, you've made Nationwide 90 FM part of your routine. So let's take this connection one step closer. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club and be part of it officially on Patreon.
Family. Amazing family.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Depression and unemployment. This song's for you.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds and it's dark in my heart and it feels like a cold night. Today's a new day, but where are my blue skies? Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
I'll be honest with you.
I almost gave up, but a power that I can't explain fell from heaven like a shower now.
When I think how much better I'm gonna be when this is over,
I smile, even though I hurt, see I smile. I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been here for a while,
what you do?
I smile.
Come on and
smile. It's so hard to look up when you've been down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
God's people,
you look so much better when you smile. So smile.
Now every day ain't gonna be perfect, but it still don't mean today don't have purpose. Come on.
Today's a new day, but there is no sunshine. Nothing but clouds and it's dark in my heart and it feels like a cold night.
It ain't easy, but
today's a new day. But tell me, where are my blue skies?
Where is that love, y'all?
Where is the love and the joy that you promised me? Tell me it's alright.
The truth is,
I almost gave up, but a power that
Ghost power, y'all.
Fell from heaven like a shower now.
Now I know we've been hurt, y'all, but still,
I smile.
come on.
Even though I hurt, see, I smile.
Y'all feel that?
I know God is working, so I smile. Even though I've been it for a while.
Still,
I smile.
hallelujah.
Smile. It's so hard to look up when you've been down. Sure would hate to see you give up now.
Cause people,
You look so much better when you smile.
let's go.
Smile for me.
Whoa.
Can you just smile for me?
Whatever you're in right now,
Smile for me.
smile.
Can you just smile?
Say this morning I woke up and I look in the mirror and every part of my body was in place. Many people died and never saw this day. So another day I live, I appreciate. Don't ever wanna act too high and mighty, cause tomorrow I can fall down on my face. So in everything, Lord, I give you praise, and that puts a smile on my face. Lord, I thank you for sunshine, thank you for rain, thank you for joy, thank you for pain. It's a beautiful day, beautiful day, beautiful day. Don't fuss and fight, let us unite. We got one life, so let's make it right. It's a beautiful day, yeah. It's a beautiful day.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Nationwide this morning. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us this Monday morning. It is Monday, April 20, 2026. Thank you so much to our YouTubers for joining us here in the YouTube chat. Hello to our friends out there in Radioland. Good morning, good morning. I'm Tonna Thomas.
Good morning, Tonna. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. My name is George.
Good morning. Why are they saying Aki George?
What that may I say? Aki. What am I say?
Yeah, I don't get it. But Dela Shirley said you were in her city.
Oh yeah.
So,
well, really? New Yorkshire?
You called it something. You said
Europe. YOORUP? What?
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, somebody said something else.
It may have been something else though.
In the comments.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. And somebody messaged me to say saw our pictures from Digicel's birthday celebrations and messaged me and said, "Isn't George overseas?" I'm like, listen, you just never know.
Teleport.
Yeah, where George's gonna be. Yeah. This minute you see him here, the next minute he's somewhere else.
Pop up.
Yeah, that's how it goes. Yeah.
May I say good morning to everyone once again. I want to send a special greeting this morning to a friend of mine who lives in Trinidad and Tobago, who goes by the username, let me find the username here, goes by the username Richie2562. Good morning, Richie2562. You've been very gracious to a family member of mine. Yeah, so I want to thank you, and one of them man, we did it from the start and see how the journey started, so appreciate Richie and his wife Terry. Appreciations to you both, Jamaicans living and working in TNT. Just before I go in, there's a story I saw this morning in Myanmar where the military regime, has banned the importation and sale of sanitary napkins because they're saying that the rebel fighters are using them as tourniquets. And a woman's charity leader said only an idiot could think that a sanitary napkin could be used to staunch bleeding from a wound. Because if you have any idea and any sense of how those things work, you know that that's not what it was made, not for things like that. Yeah. So it's a problem in the country because, of course, the black market is where women have to be turning to for it, and the price gone up 4 or 5 times, and then those others who can't afford black market prices having to be using alternatives, and it's not good. So it's a major story I saw in some of the big publications this morning, and it just shook my head. I said, boy.
Yeah. And speaking of Trinidad and Tobago too, two huge stories coming out of that country.
Yeah.
One having to do with the bodies of babies and a couple adults in there as well that were dumped.
Yes.
As well as the story yesterday of a police corporal that was shot and killed
inside the station.
And so far, apparently, dozens of guns
68 at the last count
were stolen. Hundreds of rounds of ammunition. Yeah, and you wonder what the hell happened there.
So it's been a week like that. You know, this morning, listeners, my friend Gillian Horton reminds me, said, George, it's tourniquet. She's correct. I got tourniquet from Gillian. I can tell you why I said tourniquet. One of my favorite characters, Marv from Sin City, played by Mickey Rourke. He was the one who said, but he said it so beautifully, tourniquet. Yeah, so it just stuck in my head. But I know better. It's tourniquet. Thank you, Gillian Horton. So here's the thing now. I'm going to say this morning that I'm going to juxtapose two things this morning. Not because they are related, because I don't know, we don't know. But I'm juxtaposing them because of the proximity with which they've happened. Also, the story we carried that led the bulletin this morning, talking about that school where the abuse happened. Many people are saying which school it is, which school they think it is. As a news organization, we don't know because we haven't confirmed. We have to confirm before we tell it to you. And I know some of you in the comments are saying, so why didn't you name the school? It's because we haven't confirmed it. You know it, fine. But we have to confirm, or we have to make sure. So we have to use language that gives ourselves room. And we don't want anybody to say we have punished them school. We don't know if the AI video was used to make the uniforms look a different way from khaki to another color. We don't know all of these things. So we have to, what we know is that a student was assaulted. That's a fact. And that there were boys in the video. So until we establish which school it was, we can't say. So just understand that that's how news works, right? Before Jermaine plays the video, and this is another thing I agonized over, because there are children involved, minors, and I'm not comfortable with putting minors on display, especially one being ganged up on and assaulted in the way that this young boy was the subject to, the things he was subject to by his peers. But I had a discussion this morning, and given the different space we're inhabiting where things are viral, everybody who has an interest can see something. It doesn't apply, that principle doesn't apply to everything, but for this one, it's part of the rationalization. And we will show the video, even though there are minors involved, and even though the video is distressing. But for those who didn't see it, we think it's our duty. The public's interest is best served, we believe, by doing it this way. Yeah? And again, many people may have an idea, many people may know conclusively which school it is. We have not established that. Until then, we just go as we did at 6 a.m. But before I do that, and here's what I mean about the juxtaposition. On April 14, the Parent Teachers Association at Jamaica College issued a statement, very well written statement, very considered. You can see every word weighed and measured. And I think I need to read the statement and then show the video. Not because I'm drawing a link between the video and the statement, but as I'm saying, the video and the statement came days apart. So that's the reason for the juxtaposition. This statement from the JC Parent Teachers Association. Listen to me now, listeners. It says, April 14, 2026. The Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association, PTA, has taken note of recent reports circulating in sections of the media and across social media platforms which portray Jamaica College as an environment characterized by widespread gang activity, bullying, and disorder. As an independent body representing the interests of parents and students, the PTA considers it both necessary and responsible to address these assertions. The association wishes to state clearly that based on its own engagement with parents, students, and the wider school community, it has found no evidence to support claims of perversive gang culture or systemic bullying at Jamaica College. The PTA takes its responsibility to safeguard the welfare of its children very seriously and would be among the first to raise concern and demand accountability if such conditions existed. The statement continues, where isolated incidents may arise, as they can in any school environment, the PTA is satisfied that the institution has in place structured, responsive and effective systems to address them. In particular, the association recognizes the work of the Dean of Discipline, the Dean of Student Affairs, and the Guidance Department, all of whom play a critical role in maintaining order, supporting students, and fostering a positive school culture. The PTA further notes that Jamaica College continues to provide a safe, supportive, and dynamic environment in which students thrive across a range of disciplines, a wide range of disciplines. The school's recent achievements, including success in national academic and co-curricular competitions such as Schools Challenge Quiz, music, Jamaica Stock Exchange High School Game Competition, All-Island Table Tennis, ISA Boys Championships, and Under-16 and Under-14 football, are a testament to a culture of discipline, mentorship, and excellence. Such sustained success, this statement from the JCPTA says, across diverse areas, would not be possible in an environment characterized by the level of disorder suggested in recent reports. The association is concerned that inaccurate or exaggerated portrayals of the school risk undermining the reputation of an institution of high repute that continues to play a vital role in the development of young men and in the wider national community. The association remains open to receiving any credible concerns and encourages anyone, including journalists, with specific information to bring such matters to its attention for proper review. The Jamaica College Parent Teachers Association stands firmly in support of the continued well-being, safety, and development of all students and remains committed to working constructively with all stakeholders to uphold these standards. Signed, Handel Johnson, President of the Jamaica College Parent Teacher Association. So, that's the statement that JC's Parent Teachers Association published on April 14, 2026. Today is what? April 20, so 6 days ago. On the weekend, a video emerged that whether you're a parent or not, it saddens you what we saw in the video that I'm going to show moments from now. Just to say that this JC statement followed a published story concerning a boy who was abused, assaulted on the school campus by colleagues over some money that was found, and here grabbed and punched, and surgery is going to be needed to repair damage to an eye, and really harrowing what happened to that boy on the JC campus, prompting the Parent Teachers Association to hit out at how the media portrayed the issue and saying JC is not that kind of place. That was the reason for the statement published by the Parent Teachers Association at Jamaica College on April 14. The video I'm going to show now, again, we have not made any call on which school the boys are from. Or even if the boys were at school, we said inside a building, because that's what appears obvious. We don't know which building, but we said inside a building. You may have your own view, but we are not calling it for whichever school. But watch this video and tell us what you think.
Boy, when man I get the money? When man I get the money? On you say that. You go looking at the man, when man I get the money, I say that. And for something like a big man, when man I get the money, answer the question, man, when man I get the money, I say that. The two of them take everything there. Boy, when man I you don't ask your question, those money. When man I get the money, you don't ask your question. Tomorrow,
No. Usually we play videos like these. I say, King, play it again. But King, don't play it again. Just as Tona read in the news at 6 this morning, what happened? So, look, we broke it down. The aggressor drapes up, as we would say, the victim. And his hands look to be heavy because of some hell of a box him drop with that right hand. And the aggressor has all the mannerisms of someone who appears to be experienced in this kind of thing. The walk. You see the walk, Tona? The strut, the bad man walk?
Yep.
You know, the mannerisms of somebody who is used to imposing himself physically. But leave it there. They are children, so you take time at the end of the day. So, for any school principal who presides over a school where the boys, we don't know if it's a co-ed school, but if you're a principal presiding over a school where your boys wear blue, I invite you to investigate this morning. Check it out. And we'd expect a statement in short order. We were calling, couldn't make any headway, and we'll call today. And we have an idea as to which direction to go to get to the information in the quickest, shortest time. And we'll make those calls. But, as I said, all right, whether you're a parent or not, this is disturbing. And the source and the cause, I'm sure, for anger in a lot of people. But as a parent, you send your son to school and you see a gang and you notice how them spread out. Mm-hmm. And then you're slapping the boy in the face. You're boxing him and telling him, put your hand on your side. And in that situation, I know many people will say, well, they would have go kill me because mina. And there you go. The young man, I don't think at any point, the victim, I don't think he cried at any time. Credit to you, young man. Credit to you. In a room where you are trapped and the baying hounds of violence are around you, you held it together. You relinquished resistance. And you take the punishment. And I'm sure you're here to continue your education. So, any principal, any school board chairman presiding over a school where the boys wear blue, 2 different shades of blue, with a little white in the epaulette, based on what we saw in the video. I mean, AI could have changed the color of the uniform, I don't know. But whether or not that is the case, I will do some checks this morning. And whether or not you do your checks, we are doing our checks. And when we find out, the school will be called out.
Mayberry Investments Limited's new secured public bond offering offers a lucrative fixed interest rate of 10.50%. The time by Mayberry Investments Limited is
6:50.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Upgrade your home or business with Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Explore a range of termite-resistant plywood, quartz, solid surface, and granite. Experience timeless elegance with our cedar doors, crafted from premium cedar stock, kiln-dried for durability and beauty. For quality and craftsmanship, visit us at the Trade Center Kingston 10 or Hatfield Mandeville. Call 876-963-0628 to 30. Cameron Industries and Joinery Limited. Transform your space today.
Super Center, everything for your home and more.
Bring back the fun of shopping. Discover the best finds in every aisle of amazing items.
For your kitchen, your living room, your bedroom, or any room, Azan Supercenter has that perfect touch to elevate your space to the next level. Our team is ready to help you find what you are looking for you or someone else. So stop by our Crossroads store today and rediscover the fun of shopping.
Azan Supercenter, it's a lifestyle.
It's a lifestyle.
Time now for Street Smarts 1 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning, Ludlow.
Oh my God. OMG, sorry. My gosh, what a disturbing video. Anyway, the situation, good morning to you, George.
Morning, sir. Morning.
And the other listeners and the viewers, just a quick update as to what is happening. Those of you using the North South or Edward Highway, just remember it's quite busy in that space, and motorists have a challenge to make it towards Mandela Highway, especially making that right turn to go westbound towards Spanish Town. So be careful, there are no traffic signals there, so you just have to be careful. All right, going towards on the left side now, heading towards the 6 miles area. It is quite active as they make your way to 6 miles. There are pockets of build-ups along Washington Boulevard. However, the main build-up is really at the Boulevard Malines intersection. You're going to notice vehicles coming out of Kenny Drive, also onto the Washington Boulevard, and then going further towards Dunrobin. That's where you're going to have there's a gap there, and then Dunrobin has some build-up there. Constance Spring Road, there are gaps along Constance Spring Road, but it's concentrated heading going past West Kings House into Happy Tree Square, and along Malines Road, it's also quite, there are gaps there again, but concentration is heavy as they make it towards East Park Road, then on to South Road and Avenue. And generally speaking, Upper Waterloo building, but you can still make it towards Waterloo and across to other areas like Kingsway, it's building also. So it's going to build as the morning progresses. Hope we don't have that traffic again this evening like what happened on Friday. Oh my gosh. Anyway, it's our first report until about 7:20. Back to you, George, in the studios.
Thank you, Ludlow. Ludlow there with Street Smarts 1. Up next, Word of the Day.
Word of the day spelled F-U-T-Z, F-U-T-Z.
Fats. Fats. Fats.
Futs is your word of the day. It's a verb and it means to pass time in idleness. Futs is your word of the day. Dictionary.com telling us that the word was first recorded between 1905 and 1910. Futs is your word of the day. To use it in a sentence, he spent the whole afternoon futzing with the broken radio. Futs is your word of the day. F-U-T-Z. Up next, your features at the top of the hour of the news.
On Living Well today, athlete's foot. So you're out somewhere and your feet are itching you so badly that you cannot stand. Or you may have itchy feet and see small black spots that will start to appear under the skin on the soles of your feet. You most likely have athlete's foot or chronic athlete's foot. Athlete's foot is a rash on the skin of the foot. It is the most common fungal skin infection. There are 3 main types of athlete's foot. Each type affects different parts of the foot and may look different. Athlete's foot is caused by a fungus that grows on or near the top layer of the skin. Fungi, plural for fungus, grow best in warm, wet places, such as the area between the toes. Athlete's foot spreads easily. You can get it by touching the toes or feet of a person who has it, but most often, people get it by walking barefoot on contaminated surfaces near swimming pools or in locker rooms. The fungi then grow on your shoes, especially if your shoes are so tight that air cannot move around your feet. If you touch something that has fungi on it, you can spread athlete's foot to other people, even if you don't get the infection yourself. Some people are more likely than others to get athlete's foot. Experts don't know why this happens. After you've had athlete's foot, you're more likely to get it again and again. Athlete's foot can make your feet and skin between your toes burn and itch. The skin may peel and crack. Your symptoms can depend on the type of athlete's foot you have. Toe web infection usually occurs between the 4th and 5th toes. This skin becomes scaly, peels, and cracks. Moccasin type infection may start with a little soreness on your foot, and the skin on the bottom of the heel of your foot can then become thick and crack. In bad cases, the toenails get infected and can thicken, crumble, and even fall out. Vesicular type infection usually begins with a sudden outbreak of fluid-filled blisters under the skin. The blisters are usually on the bottom of the foot, but they can appear anywhere on your foot. You also can get a bacterial infection with this type of athlete's foot. Most of the time, however, a doctor can tell that you have athlete's foot by looking at your feet. He or she will also ask about your symptoms and any past fungal infections you may have had. If your athlete's foot looks unusual, or if treatment did not help you before, your doctor may take a skin or nail sample to test for fungi. Not all skin problems on the foot are athlete's foot. If you think you have athlete's foot but have never had it before, it's a good idea to have your doctor look at it. In the meantime, ensure that your feet are properly dry before you put on socks or stockings. Do not wear too many socks that are heavily dyed, and make sure they are washed before wearing them. Ensure that your shoes are aired out, and it may help to spray them occasionally with something like Lysol. And wash your feet properly. That's Living Well for today. Tune in next time for Heat Exhaustion.
Fearless and fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
The person representing your company, by answering the telephone, must be consistent as your company's brand manager. Be sure your tone is pleasant, friendly, cordial, and sincere. This is Lifestyle Pages on telephone etiquette. Too much friendliness does not convey that your company is serious about doing business, and no one wants to do business with a butu or a sketel. Speak clearly and distinctly by leaving out slangs and street language. You must speak so that you can be understood. Identify yourself clearly when answering the telephone and when making calls. For incoming calls, say, Brown and Company, Miss Jones speaking. Or Accounting Department, Miss Jones speaking. When making a call, say, this is Miss Jones from Brown and Company. May I speak with Mr. Smith? Or, this is Mr. Brown's office. May I speak with Mr. Smith? I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
One nation, one purpose, to rebuild stronger than before. Build it to last with tools and equipment from National Supply. The temperature by National Supply is...
25 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news today, Monday, April 20, 2026, viral video shows group of schoolboys physically assaulting a schoolmate over unpaid debt. Murder down by 27% since the start of the year. Music producer Javi to make his first court appearance on Wednesday over shooting incident at Big Wall Soko event. And in international news, Japan expects second bigger tsunami after massive earthquake off the northeast coast.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. There's anger this morning about the actions of boys seen physically assaulting a schoolmate inside a building. In a video widely shared on social media, one boy is seen grabbing another boy by the front of the shirt and demanding to know when monies that have been owed for some time will be paid. The boys appear to be dressed in all blue uniforms. There are 6 boys in the video, including the one being abused. It appears as if the video was taken by a 7th boy. The main aggressor is taller and physically bigger than the victim. That main aggressor is supported by another boy who has what appears to be a belt in his hand. Both those boys and the 3 others encircle the victim. The main aggressor slaps the victim in the face 7 times with his right hand. He also slaps him once with the left hand and once in the chest. The aggressor with the belt uses it to deliver 2 blows. At one point in the distressing video, the victim is told to drop his hands to his side as he uses them to shield his face from the strikes. We warn, the audio may be distressing.
Where is that? Boy, when one of get money? When one of get money? On you say that. You also in the man. When one of get money, I say that. And some of them big man. When one of get money, answer that question, man. When one of get money, I say that. The two of them take everything. Boy, when one of you ask your question, those moments. When one of get money. You ask your question. Tomorrow, someone will get money. Where is it? You ask your question. All right.
Audio of a male student and video for those watching on YouTube of a male student at what appears to be a high school being repeatedly slapped in the face and struck with a belt by a group of schoolmates. Nationwide News has been working overnight to confirm the identity of the school and whether it's aware of the incident. Up to news time, we were unsuccessful. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is reporting a 27% decline in murders between January 1 and April 19 this year when compared to the corresponding period in 2025. According to the JCF, 159 people were murdered over the first 108 days of 2026. That's 60 fewer than the 219 murdered over the same period in 2025. There were 150 shooting incidents recorded between January 1 and April 19 this year, 82 fewer than over the same period in 2025. That's a decline of 35%. The police say that over the review period, rape declined by 13%, robbery by 22%, and break-ins by 13%. According to the police, serious violent crime in the country is down 21%, while accusatory crimes, which rose in the calendar year 2025, are down by 16% so far this year. Meanwhile, the police say murders are trending at a 5-year low so far in 2026. Between January 1 and April 19 this year, 159 murders were recorded. In 2025, the number was 219. In 2024, the number came in at 337. In 2023, the number was 383. And in 2022, the number was 451. And the police say shootings are also at a 5-year low. Over the first 108 days this year, 150 incidents of shooting were recorded. The number over the review period in 2025 was 232. In 2024, it was 329. In 2023, it was 317. And in 2022, it was 358. Nationwide News understands that music producer Javi will make his first court appearance on Wednesday to answer multiple charges against him in relation to the shooting incident at the Big Wall Soko event on April 12 this year. Javi, whose given name is Javel Morrison, has been charged with assault occasioning actual bodily harm, using a prohibited weapon to commit a felony, and wounding with intent. The charges stem from an alleged altercation with blogger Jay Frey, whose given name is J.D. Richards. When our news center reached out on Sunday to Saeed Bernard, one of 3 attorneys representing Morrison, he declined to comment.
No comment at this time.
Alongside Bernard, Morrison is represented by King's Counsel Peter Champagny and Richard Lynch. Jeffrey is represented by attorney-at-law Isaac Buchanan. Efforts to reach Buchanan were unsuccessful, but he has publicly criticized the charges against his client, accusing law enforcement officials of punishing him for defending himself. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness is calling for an increase in urbanization across the country in order to minimize the use of land space. He made the call while addressing the church service to mark the 50th anniversary of the National Housing Trust.
Is that we have to increase urbanization. Now, I know when I say this, I can see the bells going off. Urbanization, such a bad thing. And the usual critique you will hear. And I encourage persons to think before they criticize. Think before they jump to a conclusion. You know, Singapore is 100% urbanized. But if you were to compare the urban environment of Singapore to the environment of Jamaica, which would be better in terms of cleanliness and sanitation, in terms of efficiency and ease of movement, in terms of general productivity of the entire society?
Dr. Holness says once the NHD has delivered on its commitment to deliver 41,000 homes, the government will pivot to focus on improving the country's urban spaces. He says critical urban infrastructure needs renewal and redevelopment if the country is to achieve first world status.
Urbanization does not mean the destruction of the environment. Urbanization, in fact, means a proper plan to minimize the use of land space to preserve the untouched environment. And that is the way in which I'd want Jamaicans to start to think about urbanization. You know, the history of Kingston flows out of Port Royal. It is the destruction of Port Royal because of the earthquake that caused Kingston to evolve. It was not a planned city. And it will take this generation for the next 50 years to properly plan our urban spaces.
Meanwhile, the Prime Minister blamed the last Friday's traffic snarl in the corporate area on outdated, inadequate infrastructure across the city. Motorists across Kingston and St. Andrew were caught in gridlock along several of the city's major thoroughfares, stretching from sections of Oxford and the Trafalgar Roads in New Kingston to Barbican and Constant Spring Road. Some motorists reported standstills that lasted up to 2 hours. The Prime Minister says the city's infrastructure is to be blamed.
The recent traffic gridlock that we experienced is just a symptom of not just poorly planned infrastructure, but aged infrastructure and infrastructure that simply cannot meet the demands being placed on it.
Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness. Meanwhile, Professor of Urban Planning and Public Policy at the University of Technology, UTech, Carol Archer, says a lack of proper urban planning was largely responsible for last Friday's traffic gridlock in the corporate area.
Planning has failed. We've failed with the whole concept of land use planning, spatial planning. Yes? And one of the considerations of spatial planning is how we move people, goods, and services in our cities. And we have not effectively addressed that. One way in which we can measure is the availability of efficient and effective, well-funded public transportation. 2, reducing the reliance on private motor vehicles. 3, managing water runoff during times of rain events.
Professor Archer is urging the authorities to embrace the concept of the 15-minute city or the walkabout city.
When you're developing a Barbican, rather than ensuring that you only have the high-rise, and you also bring in that area as part of the development services, so people won't have to get in their car and drive if you're going to supermarket, or drive if you're going to access basic services.
Meanwhile, Professor Archer is lamenting the poor state of the drainage infrastructure across sections of the corporate area.
Take, for example, Constant Spring Road. They have resurfaced Constant Spring, but they have not paid enough attention with the drainage system within that road network, and we see what is happening. Also, we've noticed too that with the development, the paving over of sections of Kingston, they're bringing more volume of water. And we've been talking about this at least, I know, for the last 20 years, when we had the Water Resource Authority prepare the master plan as to how these issues should be addressed. And they have not been addressed.
Carol Archer, Professor of Urban Planning and Public Policy at UTech. Public commentator and veteran journalist Durant Pate is cautioning the government against imposing movement restrictions in response to the spike in gas prices. He says the measure could have negative consequences for economic productivity.
What you look at
is containment, which yes, but look at the fact that we are in an economic slump. We need aggregate demand. People need to be producing. When you restrict that, you're restricting aggregate demand, you're restricting growth. And bear in mind that the economy is slated to contract this year.
Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has warned the Jamaicans to brace for increased prices at the pumps as the state-owned oil refinery Petrojam will no longer be able to absorb the daily price increases caused by the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. The U.S.-Iran war and its subsequent effects on the Strait of Hormuz continue to negatively impact global oil prices. While acknowledging the financial impact of increased gas prices, Pate says the Holness administration should consider promoting stronger energy conservation measures.
My suggestion is more carpooling, strategic pickup points for these big corporate companies and factories. And there are other consummation measures. For example, public education. People need to be turning off their lights at night. You don't need your light to be on even while they're sleeping. Things of that nature. But a whole-scale lockdown, I don't think is really practical. We need to be going for growth.
Durant Pate, he was speaking on Nationwide's weekly review show The Week That Was on Sunday. Meanwhile, Vice Chairman of the National Road Safety Council, NRSC, Dr. Lucian Jones, says the country is now buckling under the weight of too many vehicles on the roads. He says this was a contributing factor to last Friday's traffic gridlock in the corporate area.
The second issue, of course, is the number of cars on our roads. If memory serves me correctly, at a recent National Road Safety meeting, Gary McKenzie, ACP Gary McKenzie, made mention that we have nearly 800,000 cars in the country at this time, up from about 600,000 maybe a couple of years ago. And most of those are in Kingston. But the issue is really the huge increase in the numbers of vehicles we have on the nation's roads. And of course, majority of the population lives in Kingston. We have pretty near 1 million people live in Kingston. To deal with the huge increase in the number of cars is a different problem. Because either you increase in numbers of buses or trains to satisfy the demand for people to move around. And it's a huge part of the economy, the whole transportation sector. And that's why we have the problem now with increase in the gas prices facing us. So it's a huge problem.
Dr. Jones says the gross indiscipline of motorists worsens the problems caused by traffic congestion.
If I may use a carnival term, bad behavior of drivers on the roads. There's a whole catalog of them. Taximen who refuse, and not the taximen, just people who are intent on getting their own way. So they go around the traffic, they create new lanes where there's no lane, they go on the sub-shoulder, and then the traffic jams up because they can get nowhere further and nobody can get past them at the intersection. That's one huge problem. And that is an ongoing issue. It's exacerbated when the rain falls, as it did over the weekend on Friday. But it's not something which is an isolated incident. This is something which the police are grappling with and have been grappling with for some time now.
Dr. Lucian Jones, Vice Chairman of the NRSC, he was speaking during an interview with Nationwide News on Sunday. SCJ Holdings Limited says it's taking decisive steps to end the illegal occupation and unauthorized sale of government-owned former sugar lands across several parishes. The managing director of SCJ Holdings is Nigel Myrie.
SCJ Holdings Limited underscores the seriousness of the unauthorized occupation and illegal sale of governmental Jamaica lands under its management, noting that such activities constitute clear breaches of the law and in some instances organized criminal conduct. The problem of illegal residential occupation remains particularly prevalent in the parishes of Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. Thomas, and Clarendon, while illegal land sale activities have been notably reported in Trelawney and St. Thomas.
Myrie says where construction work is being done on government-owned lands, developers will be prosecuted.
SCJH will continue to utilize all available enforcement mechanisms to address these activities. Persons found in breach will be served with notices to quit and vacate, along with cease and desist orders requiring the immediate cessation of unauthorized occupation, subdivision, and construction. The company is maintaining active collaboration with the respective municipal corporations to support coordinated enforcement actions on the ground, including the identification and management of illegal developments across affected parishes.
And persons who defy orders to cease and desist from carrying out construction work on government-owned lands will have their structures demolished.
Continued defiance will result in decisive enforcement action, including the demolition of illegal structures which may be carried out at the expense of the occupants and in accordance with court directives where required. SCJH reiterates that these measures are essential to protect the government of Jamaica assets, safeguard lawful land use, and prevent unsafe and unregulated settlements. Any legitimate request for land for residential purposes, particularly those arising from social concerns, must be pursued through the appropriate Government of Jamaica agencies and established legal procedures.
That's Nigel Myrie, Managing Director of SCJ Holdings Limited, speaking in an interview with Nationwide News. International news now. An initial 16-inch tsunami has been recorded at the Miyako port in Japan's Iwate prefecture following Monday's 7.5 earthquake off the northeast coast. Officials warn a second tsunami, forecast to be as high as 10 feet, may be on the way. According to Japan's Met Service, the quake hit on Monday in waters off Japan's Pacific coast. It was felt across a wide area, shaking buildings in Tokyo, hundreds of miles to the south. The JMA, that's Japan's Met Service, is urging people to immediately evacuate from coastal regions and riverside areas. The agency warns that tsunami waves were expected to hit repeatedly. Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi said the government had set up a crisis management team and was working to assess the impact of the earthquake. And another one before we go, Pakistan moved ahead on Monday with preparations for a new round of talks between the United States and Iran, days before a tenuous ceasefire is set to expire. The talks are due to resume on Tuesday. Renewed conflict around the Strait of Hormuz on the weekend raised questions about whether the meeting would take place. On Sunday, the U.S. attacked and seized an Iranian-flagged cargo vessel in the Gulf. It said the vessel had tried to evade its blockade of Iranian ports. Iran's Joint Military Command vowed to respond, with their foreign minister telling his Pakistani counterpart that American threats to Iranian ships and ports were clear signs of Washington's disingenuousness. The ceasefire is due to expire on Wednesday, April 2022. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:19.
Rent or buy your hurricane supplies from Total Tools. Visit 102 Main Street, Outaris, 34 Slipe Road, Kingston 5, or Lot C6, Drax Hall, St. Anne's Bay. The temperature brought to you by Total Tools Jamaica is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 20 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
From April 11 to May 2, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs opens Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for collecting expungement letters and ministers' marriage licenses only. Please note, no application processing will take place during these days. Call 876-906-4923-31 or WhatsApp 876-851-3287. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Justice at your convenience.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Yeah, morning again, George, and the listeners, the viewers, and all our transport operators and providers. Good morning with all the passengers traveling through land, air, sea. The situation along Spanish Town Road from 6 miles, quite busy indeed. Lots of traffic along Spanish Town heading towards 3 miles. 3 miles active, very active. Most of the vehicles are making it up to Hagley Park Road. Some going further along Spanish Town Road, heading towards Maxfield Avenue and into downtown Kingston. Marcus Garvey Drive has traffic, but it's moving steadily all the way down. But when you get towards Water Lane, Harbour Street, that's where the traffic is really standing. It's really slow moving in that space as they make your way through downtown Kingston. Harbour Street, however, has its good vehicular movement because from you leave Michael Manley Boulevard to Port Royal Street, the movement is good. Going up Orange Street, quite busy in that little space between North, South, East, and the West Parade. But as they make it up to Orange Street, they have no problems. Camp Road, South Camp Road, is where you're going to have some activities there, and South Camp Road joining with Camp Road, going all the way up. There is traffic. Elliston Road, Upper Elliston Road, You can also find traffic there, as in the case Deanery Road onto Mountain View Avenue. Mountain View Avenue quite busy as they make it up towards the vicinity of the Exit Community College or Excelsior High School. Those are where you have the traffic. Those areas are where you have traffic. And remember, Monroe Road still work in progress. So you're going to have some challenges there as they try to make it to Ligony. I always recommend Beverly Drive, then you exit back onto Wellington Drive, and then it should be okay. That's it for second report for the morning. As usual, at Street Smart. Your safety is our concern. Over to you, George.
Thank you, Ludlow there with Street Smarts. To up next, front page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. You're now tuned in to our discussion segment, the front page. On the front page this morning, the MSME Alliance.
Hold on, before you go. So, as we've said, we've been trying since Sunday to confirm where the incident happened, the one that was the subject of our lead story at 6 and 7 this morning, and of course, the commentary in What's in My Mind. So, where the incident happened, in terms of the school, when it happened, and if the authorities are aware. We've been reliably informed that the school is indeed Jamaica College, located on Old Hope Road in St. Andrew. It is Jamaica College, and my producer says she reached out to the chairman of the school board, Lance Hilton, this morning, was not offered a comment yet. She has reached out to the principal of Jamaica College, Wayne Robinson, and she has not been able to make contact with Principal Robinson just yet. So, without a shadow of a doubt, based on the strength of the people who've said it to us, and not just the gentlemen and ladies who confirmed off air, but another person who was very close to the setup at JC said, yes, man, it's our school. And so we've tried to reach the board chairman, Lance Hilton. We've sent some messages. He's not responded to them. And we've not been able to reach the principal, Wayne Robinson. I don't want people to think of this as a JC problem. It is a school problem. It's the difficulties with dealing with children at this time. But JC has a problem because of the recent issue in the media. The very strong and front foot statement issued by the Parent Teachers Association. I wonder what they'll say in the wake in light of this incident. And what is true is that there are several schools in this country where things like this don't happen. There are also many schools where worse things happen and they're not caught on camera. So it's not beat down JC, but it's to ascertain from the leadership at JC what is being done in light of what appears from more than one incident now to be a culture of gangsterism in the school. So it appears to a reasonable person as if JC a bad man place. So we'd like to know, in light of that appearance, what is the leadership doing? Because not JC, not any school in Jamaica should carry this reputation or should have these things happening where boys believe that they can do these things because sure. So the more substantive part of the whole story kicks in now. What has the leadership done in response to this incident? And how will it ensure that these incidents do not happen because the boys will hold the discipline line? That's the most important thing. And it's not about criticism and condemnation. It's about accountability and leaders leading. So this is a moment, Lance Hilton, where your head can't be below the parapet. Neither Mr. Wayne Robinson. It's time to stand tall. Both you men are too big physically to act small. No, it's not the time like you're on a coaster bus to smile up yourself. It's about facing the problems now, gentlemen, and letting us as a nation, as a broad school community, deal with it so that people can feel safe sending their boys to your school, and that parents at home and relatives don't have to be contemplating committing major crime because their child or relative is treated like a subhuman on the school compound by organized gangs. We don't want that. So there'll be difficult conversations to be had. But we have to have them, gentlemen, and we have to fix the situation so that JC, with all of the glory it has attached to itself in the calendar year so far and in the academic year, can continue to do the things that it has built its tremendous reputation on. So now is not the time to hide, gentlemen. Face up and let us fix things. I think we can take the break down and come back clean with the front page. Yeah, man, let's do that.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:30.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, while we feel safe at night.
Oi there! I can't pick Akia from a tree. Are you planty? I know that. Come beat me. Beat me, Cheryl, come beat me. But she bra. I sweep up over here when they leave them nasty up me yard. You know what? I cut this tongue.
Keela, Cheryl, how was that? Wanna stop the quarreling no man? This no call for in our community. This no sound good, man.
Nobody tell me nothing. You know see how Cheryl turn bad. Me pick two little Akia for a tree off of the limb way hang down over my yard. And here she go talk about. She go cut down tree. And that me say, so what?
No bother with no quarrel. No fight. Cheryl, no cut down the tree. Uno live good, no people. Uno a big man, you know. And uno a neighbor. The picnic them a friend too. We have to set the example for the picnic them. Live good. Me a beg uno. Do.
A true ya talking a good son. Take a little aki them killer. Cause for real, the limb really hung over your yard. We are neighbor. Make we start live good.
Aye. I saw it figure man. Live good, me say.
Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life, but we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good. I better you and I.
A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. Now, the MSME Alliance is rejecting any COVID-style restrictions to manage fuel consumption and energy costs. The Alliance is also urging a pro-growth energy policy. Now, Energy Minister Darrell Vaz has warned Jamaicans to brace for increased prices at the pump, as the state-owned oil refinery Petrojem will no longer be able to absorb the daily price increases caused by the ongoing crisis in the Middle East. The alliance is strongly urging the government to reject any measures that would suppress commerce and is instead calling for urgent, forward-thinking policies that will stimulate economic growth and accelerate the country's transition to renewable energy. We're being joined by the president of the MSME Alliance, Antoinette Hamilton. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Tana. Good morning to your listeners.
Thank you so much for joining us here on Nationwide this morning. Now, Antoinette, 7+ weeks on since the U.S.-Iran war, how has it been felt in terms of the rise in fuel prices for your members?
Well, general business community is experiencing the increases in petrol prices. That is known, but they're also facing increases in input costs such as materials and other costs that affect their businesses. So yes, they are experiencing some of those increases. And what we're saying is that while they experience those and they try to navigate those, suppressing demand with a COVID-style approach will not help the situation. It will in fact worsen it.
Mm-hmm. And what has the MSME, I mean, we gave our listeners a brief out of what was mentioned by your association, but what has the MSME Alliance placed on the table in relation to a counter to what the energy minister is suggesting?
Okay, so largely, we appreciate that the minister came out and gave an update on the state of the energy in our country, and we recognize the pressure that they are facing in terms of Petrojem. What we are proposing is that we focus more on doing things that will, one, educate the business community and consumers. So we may want to do a public education drive where we sensitize persons about energy conservation. So we're not against energy conservation. But in terms of the business community, what we're saying is that put incentives in place that will stimulate the adoption of energy conservation in businesses. For example, we're saying that, for example, there's a Gemini grant that is there. Let us look at restructuring that so that we can assist persons with accessing loans to purchase solar systems or to implement equipment in their businesses that will allow them to be more efficient in terms of energy. So we're looking at business grants for energy adoption. We're also saying that we are moving towards using less energy. So why not partner, or why not do a public education about, the benefits of electronic vehicles, how to use them, because not everybody really knows the safety around that, and some persons are still hesitant where purchasing a electronic vehicle is concerned. So why not make a big push towards, encouraging EVs in commercial operation as well as individuals who want to own a vehicle. That will put less pressure on the cost of energy. Also, we're saying that the relief for business communities post-Melissa, that needs to be fast-tracked. For example, we know that the West would have been badly affected by Melissa. If we're able to get those released in as quickly as possible, persons can get their benefit, then that would increase demand in the West, and that would help businesses to recover faster. We also mentioned that the housing initiative that was put forward, I know the government recently did a launch of the Inwood one, and that is good. So we want that to come on stream quickly, because when you are able to create economic activity, what it does, it allows businesses to earn more so they can better navigate or absorb any rising costs to their business that may come from energy costs. So those are a few that we would have put forward that we think is more pro-growth.
But wouldn't you say, Antoinette, for example, the energy or the alternative measures that you're suggesting for in terms of energy is more a medium or a long-term measure? What about in the short term, how businesses or people are being affected now?
Well, we have to, this energy crisis is not going to be a short-term one, so we have to think medium, long-term. And yes, the situation as it is very fluid, so we don't really know if the war is going to stop tomorrow, right? So I don't think we should be trying to be reactive in a sense. We should try to be more forward thinking in terms of this war. Make the assumption that this war will not stop, and so we can't just think no. We have to think in the future. And yes, while some of these measures are not immediate, our pushback is not really against any of the other suggestions that the minister made. It's more about the insinuation that there will be COVID-style restrictions, and that we believe will be very detrimental to the economy. If you recall, Tana, when we had COVID, the stock market pretty much collapsed, right? Restaurants, persons who go out to work or go to school, restaurants will be affected. The entertainment industry, we know that was badly affected. Persons who sell in the front of schools, those persons will be affected. Hairdressers and barbers, when you're at home, you don't really go to the hairdresser and barber because you can wash your hair and stuff like that. So clothing stores, they're not going to be selling as much. So the small businesses will be badly affected, and that is our position, that we're not against what the minister said. Otherwise, we're against any measures that will suppress consumer demand, because that will be detrimental to small business.
But Antoinette, good morning. The issue of COVID style restrictions, I find that at the start, and of course the phrase didn't come from you, it was very unfortunate, because clearly COVID was to minimize, not even minimize, was to prohibit contact between and among people. I struggle to think that in the midst of the energy crisis that we are going through, amid that, there would be a ban on people mingling. So it would be the restrictions about days in the office, days on the streets, days driving to go to certain places, that the restrictions would be there. And yes, it would have an impact on economic activity, because any change from the status quo would represent that. But clearly, it could never be COVID-esque. And so I'm wondering if the alarm from the Alliance is far greater than the proposed application of the measures.
Well, we don't want to misinterpret what the minister intended to say, and so as a result, we're making it clear that that's not the direction that we as a country should be going. We already have businesses doing a hybrid model where work from home, work in office is concerned, coming out of COVID. They're still doing it. It's not a full work from office model that companies are employing. We do have a hybrid model happening now. We even do have a hybrid model in schools. From time to time, when there is an issue at school, the teacher would say, let's go online. No school today, online. So we still have a model like that. Yes, there is an energy crisis, but that to restrict movement of vehicles, and that is not the solution.
But hold on, Antoinette. I hear you on saying that's not the solution. But remember, in every crisis, there are a range of measures that can be taken. You've outlined some of the things that the Alliance wants to see. Clearly, some of what you've put on the table can't be done and won't have an impact in 2 to 3 months. The energy crisis is immediate, and in any crisis, you have to take immediate measures. In every crisis, you have to take immediate measures before you can do medium-term and longer-term planning for benefits to resound. So if in an energy crisis, there is a codification then of work from home, or the doing of activities that don't require people to be driving on the roads in the immediate term for a couple of weeks, is the Alliance saying it would oppose that amid this real crisis of energy prices?
That is not going to be solving the issue. When I saw the pictures of persons using the traffic in Kingston as a justification, I smiled, because I'm saying Kingston is not Jamaica, and I keep saying Kingston is not Jamaica. When it is that the entire major business communities are looking like that, then I would be convinced that persons need to be, less vehicles need to be on the road. If it is, Tana and George, that you can say Mandeville Town Centre is congested, Ochiras Town Centre is congested, Montego Bay, every major town centre is congested, and this is the traffic all across the island, then I'll be convinced. What we need to do as a government, as I said, is to fast track the implementation of the transformation, the rebuilding process, so that we can shift some of the business commerce from Kingston to other areas. We have done it. The government has done it in Draxall. They should just focus on doing it elsewhere, so that when you shift the business activities, families move with it.
But Antoinette, you would agree though that shifting families is not an immediate measure. It's more of a part of the package of longer term measures. But hold on, you see, I don't believe that these measures will be imposed. I think it's just a conversation started to see where the people are, and it's good that the Alliance has put its position on the table. Hear this now. For weeks now, we have benefited from gas prices not going up by more than $4.50 each Wednesday evening, each Wednesday evening to take effect on Thursday. Now the minister said, well, the whole $20 is going to go. That changes the game completely, because you're talking about an increase of under $5 weekly, going up now to $20 each week for as long as Mr. Trump and company keep fighting for ground in the Middle East. So with that reality, and if it is that movement is to be, I don't even want to say restricted, but if there are measures put in place in the immediate term to ensure that we use less of the fuel, and of course the bulk of the vehicular traffic is in the corporate area, there's no doubt about that. What would be injurious to that for a 2 or 3 week spell at the worst, Antoinette, is what I'm asking.
George, let me put it this way. The JUTC is one of the major users of energy in this country. There are several buses that, especially the ones that were recently imported, that when you pass them, they're almost empty. What I would suggest is that, and I've not discussed this yet with my council, but I know my council is against the COVID-style restriction, is that the government look at pausing that system, right? And I recall.
Pause which system? Pause which system? Just clarify.
Pause using the buses that are not full to capacity. Pause that, reduce the energy consumption where that is concerned. There are several buses out there across the island that are not full to capacity with students. Pause that system and use some of that funds to put in maybe a a system where they can incentivize families to, well, not incentivize, but provide some relief to families, right, in the short term. But that is an inefficient use of energy, and we know that JUTC is a major user.
But they tell you that most of these buses are powered with CNG, you know, Antoinette, not the petrol that you and I use when we go gas station.
Not the petrol that we use.
No,
okay.
It's CNG, and the CNG plant is in St. Catherine. So in fact, none of the imported buses, at least since Vaz became minister, Turner, are powered by the diesel, or they are all CNG buses, which is why they built out a huge plant to be able to convert LNG into compressed natural gas.
Are the coasters the same or no?
No, because the coasters are private vehicles that are not fitted with that kind of technology.
The new 100 coaster vehicles that the government is going to purchase, I would say put a pause on that and look to purchase EV buses.
Hold the line for me.
That can be immediate need.
Maybe. Hold the line for us, Anthony. Let's take a break and come right back. This is the front page nationwide this morning.
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612-5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
7:47.
Hawkeye is protecting homes, businesses, and communities with trusted security solutions. The temperature by Hawkeye, securing what matters most, is
26 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 28 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 23 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The UCC Corporate Education Division is now accepting applications for a series of professional certificate courses offered this semester. Over 75 short courses available in business, HR, computer skills, supervisor management, financial securities management, and so much more. Build productivity and give your workforce the winning edge. Pursue programs on any of our campuses island-wide. On-site at your workplace, online or on demand at your convenience. It's that simple. Apply online at www.ucc.edu.jm or call 876-906-3214 for further details. UCC, fostering leadership and innovation.
Every professional reaches a moment when growth calls. A promotion, a new opportunity, a bigger vision. At Mona School of Business and Management, our globally competitive graduate programs, including the internationally accredited MBA, are designed for ambitious professionals who are ready to lead. With flexible delivery options that fit your lifestyle, advancing your career is within reach. Learn from world-class faculty. Connect with influential leaders. Transform your future. Visit discover.msbm-uwi.org and apply online for a graduate degree. MSBM, Global Knowledge, Regional Solutions.
This station raised me. It gave me a voice. And if Nationwide has ever meant something to you, come on in. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club today on Patreon. Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. The president of the MSME Alliance, Antoinette Hamilton, is putting on table some of the things that she thinks needs to be done to induce growth in this difficult time. And she's speaking also about the touted COVID-style restrictions and saying that, listen, my members don't want anything where that is concerned because of what happened during COVID when a movement was prohibited and sales were depressed, the economy locked down and we struggled. And she's just coming out early, as is her job. She has that constituency to take care of, and she has to represent their views, and they do not want that. And so it is in her right to speak strongly about not having a situation like that repeat itself. In closing, Antoinette, I'd suggest to you that perhaps it is that, the COVID-style phrase is the problem, because there is no way, I think, that any sector, any representative group or any leader of any group like yourself would accept being prohibited from traveling. I think people, though, under the circumstances and given the wall of increases that will come crashing down when the full cost that Petrojam bears is passed on to consumers, when that happens, I don't think people will be upset at certain restrictions especially if they are not COVID style. And I want to know if you would abide by that, or are you still dead set against any restriction whatsoever?
No, I'm not dead set. And, we're willing to sit with the minister and help him to kind of, well, first, for us to better understand the crisis that he may be seeing that we're not seeing clearly, and to also make any recommendation that we think would be, less detrimental. So, and we're not against any other form of temporary measures that may help the situation. For example, you mentioned about removing the $4.5. That we understand that. So those are temporary measures, I am presuming, and we're okay with that because we understand. But when you're talking about restricting demand and supply, that's where we're not comfortable with.
And I can understand that. All right. Thank you for your time this morning. All the best. And I hope you get the audience with the minister soon to understand the details, and then you're able to put some of the solutions that you've mentioned here on the table.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Antoinette Hamilton, President of the MSME Alliance. Well, you spoke about Trinidad and Tobago this morning, Tona, and you have something.
Yes, we must turn our attention to the region because there is an update in relation to that story we were talking about earlier, George, in connection to the police corporal who was killed.
Woman corporal,
and 60 plus firearms that were stolen. So the Trinidad Express does have some updates in relation to that matter. It says a major breakthrough has been made in the investigation into the killing of a municipal police officer and the theft of firearms from the San Fernando Municipal Police Station, with 6 people now in custody and a quantity of the weapons recovered. So a number of the weapons have been recovered, and the Trinidad Express is reporting that 6 people have been detained. It says the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service confirmed yesterday that the suspects include 2 municipal police officers, 2 women, and 2 other men. Investigators have also recovered several of the stolen weapons, including 10 M&P pistols, 10 Glock 19 pistols, a Browning pistol, a Smith & Wesson pistol, and 612 rounds of 9mm ammunition. The arrests follow a series of overnight intelligence-led operations conducted by officers of the San Fernando Criminal Investigations Department, CID, Special Branch, and the Special Investigations Unit. The police also said that the probe remains at a sensitive stage, and the Commissioner of Police, Alistair Guevara, was on the ground during the early morning operations as the investigations intensified.
Michelle, before we play the clip, Michelle, just who's the journalist who wrote that story for the Express?
Let's see
Is it right?
here. Suzanne Mohammed.
So we give Suzanne Mohammed credit for the reporting.
Yes.
Go with the clip now, Michelle.
Pleasant good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. As promised earlier on today, we have left no stone unturned. At this present time, it's about 1:30 a.m. and I am here with Inspector Wilkinson from the San Fernando CID and a small team of officers, where we have been able to recover what we believe to be a portion of the quantity of firearms that was stolen from the municipal police headquarters during the homicide of Corporal Eversley. So at this point in time, I just want to commend the officers for the excellent work that they have been doing, and we have been pushing since that time until now, and we have other officers in other parts of the division at this point in time carrying out simultaneous exercises. So as promised, I'm keeping you updated, and sometime during the course of the day tomorrow, I will give a further update on all that we have been able to recover. Thank you.
All right. So that's the police commissioner in TNT, Tana, at the scene of what he says was the location where
they recovered
some
of those weapons. And just to say as well that for persons who've been asking the name of the Corporal Anushka Eversley, she's 38. She was an acting corporal attached to the Trinidad and Tobago Municipal Police Service, who was shot dead while on duty. And this says Eversley, who had approximately 15 years service, was last seen alive around 11 p.m. on Saturday in the charge room. She was found around 4:40 a.m. Sunday by a colleague who returned to the area and discovered it in darkness. After switching on the lights, the officer noticed what appeared to be blood coming from the dormitory. Further checks revealed that the strong room had been breached. Eversley was found with a gunshot wound to the neck. Her body was lying on a mattress in the dormitory.
Whoa. So the accusation, and I stress accusation, is that two of her colleagues assisted in killing her and stealing the weapons and the ammunition.
Yeah.
What? This is shocking. Michelle told us about a journalist that we should be getting after 8:30.
Yes. Cindy, a practitioner out of Trinidad and Tobago, who we understand, Michelle, will be on the scene of that discovery at about 8:30. So at about 8:30, we will join one of the practitioners out of Trinidad and Tobago to get further updates on what is taking place in relation to the murder of this police corporal in TNT and the theft of over 60 firearms and thousands of rounds of ammunition stolen from the station strong room. The police commissioner Guevara, is saying that 6 people have been detained, including 2 municipal officers, 2 police personnel among the 6 detained, and several of the firearms and 612 rounds of ammunition recovered.
Well, I tell you what, the situation is so bad that it is just overwhelming the law enforcers in TNT. Recall the stories we would carry weekly, about ammunition find, gun find, and just heinous crime under the leadership of Fitzgerald Hines when he was National Security Minister. And now this police commissioner has taken over a situation alongside the man in charge of national security. Is it Roger Alexander, the former policeman? And it is just proving a tough nut to crack, and TNT has a significant problem. And I know that when you read the accounts carefully, incremental progress has been made since Prasad Bisesa took charge of the administration. But this is a setback to any progress that the police would have made, and it's to their credit that they've moved to detain 6 suspects so soon. Does the story say if there is pursuit of anybody else or following in the line of inquiry?
They did say it's at a sensitive stage and that the investigations are continuing, but they did not provide if they're theorizing anything further or if they have any other leads in relation to this. But the police commissioner in Trinidad has his hands full, because he's treating with this matter as well as his men and women treating with the matter of the body of 50 infants dumped at a Trinidad graveyard. Many of you saw that one over the weekend as well. The remains of at least 50 infants and 6 adults have been dumped at a graveyard in Trinidad and Tobago. The country's police service said in a statement that the bodies were found in the town of Cumuto, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, about 40 kilometers from the capital, Port of Spain, one of the 2 islands forming the Caribbean nation, and a preliminary investigation showed that it may be a case of unlawful disposal of unclaimed corpses. It's unclear if the incident is linked to gang violence in the country, with one of the highest murder rates in Latin America and the Caribbean, but there's that as well.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of babies.
Yeah, 50. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll get an update on that as well when we join the Trinidad and Tobago practitioner at about 8:30.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Don't miss a beat with your mortgage payments at NHD.
Stay on top of your NHD mortgage payments when you pay by the first day of each month. The time by the National Housing Trust is
8 o'clock.
Interex Distributors presents the ultimate tile clearance sale. Transform your space for less. Dunrobin Plaza, 30 Dunrobin Avenue. The temperature by Interex Distributors is
26 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 28 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville 23 degrees Celsius.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
In across Jamaica this Monday morning, on Monday, April 20, 2026, SCJ Holdings Limited says it's taking decisive steps to end illegal occupation and unauthorized sale of government-owned former sugar lands across several parishes. The managing director of SCJ Holdings is Nigel Myrie.
SCJ Holdings Limited underscores the seriousness of the unauthorized occupation and illegal sale of government of Jamaica lands under its management, noting that such activities constitute clear breaches of the law and in some instances organized criminal conduct. The problem of illegal residential occupation remains particularly prevalent in the parishes of Westmoreland, Trelawney, St. Thomas, and Clarendon, while illegal land sale activities have been notably reported in Trelawney and St. Thomas.
Myrie says where construction work is being done on government-owned lands, developers will be prosecuted.
SCJH will continue to utilize all available enforcement mechanisms to address these activities. Persons found in breach will be served with notices to quit and vacate, along with cease and desist orders, requiring the immediate cessation of unauthorized occupation, subdivision, and construction. The company is maintaining active collaboration with the respective municipal corporations to support coordinated enforcement actions on the ground, including the identification and management of illegal developments across affected parishes.
Nigel Myrie, Managing Director of SCJ Holdings Limited, he was speaking during an interview with Nationwide News on the weekend. Meanwhile, persons who defy orders to cease and desist from carrying out construction work on government-owned lands will have their structures demolished.
Continued defiance will result in decisive enforcement action, including the demolition of illegal structures which may be carried out at the expense of the occupants and in accordance with court directives where required. SCJH reiterates that these measures are essential to protect the government of Jamaica assets, safeguard lawful land use, and prevent unsafe and unregulated settlements. Any legitimate request for land for residential purposes, particularly those arising from social concerns, must be pursued through the appropriate Government of Jamaica agencies and established legal procedures.
Nigel Myrie, Managing Director of SCJ Holdings Limited. The Caribbean Development Bank, CDB, has approved a technical assistance grant of close to $350,000 to the Caribbean Disaster Emergency Management Agency, SEDEMA. SEDEMA is the CARICOM agency that coordinates disaster risk management across the region. The grant is to support an institutional assessment of the agency's ability to support Caribbean countries before, during, and after disasters. CDB says that the review is expected to provide practical recommendations to help the agency work more effectively and remain sustainable over time. The findings are intended to guide future changes and help SEDEMA coordinate regional responses in the context of increasing climate and disaster risk. Director of Projects at CDB, O'Reilly Lewis, says the technical assistance will help SEDEMA ensure it has the right structure, skills, and systems to deliver on its mandate as the impacts of climate change make increasing demands on regional disaster management systems. The CDB grant is financed under the Caribbean Action for Resilience Enhancement Program, funded by the EU through the Intra-African Caribbean Pacific European Union Natural Disaster Risk Reduction Program. And that's it for Across Jamaica.
Don't wait for the symptoms start show. HIV test free. Make sure you know. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take me meds. Me can't lose. Family there, support there too. We strong, we bold life, I live right through. Live bold test early. Test the HIV. Know your status smooth surely. Me take me test. Me get the news. Me take my meds. Me can't lose. Free testing is available at health centers island-wide.
A message by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's Talk Justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice. Tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. for the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce's second annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston under the theme Unmasking the Cost, the Financial Impact of Illicit Trade. The forum brings together key stakeholders to examine the economic losses, consumer risk, and threats to legitimate businesses caused by illicit goods. Stay tuned to the live coverage and find out how this growing issue is impacting Jamaica's economy and you. So tune in to Cliff Views Online Wednesday, April 22 from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's the second annual Anti-Illicit Trade Forum at the AC Marriott in Kingston. Catch this on our live stream at Nationwide 90 FM Live and keep your station locked to Nationwide 90 FM, the new revolution in media. This broadcast is brought to you by the Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, the voice of business.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
Welcome to Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
Welcome again to Inside Customs here on Nationwide 90 FM. Last week we started a very important discussion on data protection and the Jamaica Customs Agency. We had Desmond Pringle with us, Data Protection Officer at the JC, and he's come back this week. He's returned to continue this very important conversation. Welcome back, Desmond.
Thank you so much, George. It's a pleasure to be back again and to continue to educate Jamaicans as to how we treat their personal information.
Excellent.
Let me also say good morning to your listeners.
Thank you very much, man, on their behalf. All right, let's get right into it. How does the Customs Agency ensure on an ongoing basis that it maintains compliance with data protection requirements?
So I must use the opportunity to share a little with you about my role as the Data Protection Officer, because my primary role is to monitor compliance with the Data Protection Act, to ensure that the agency process personal information in accordance with the requirements of the Act. And I do so in an independent manner, meaning I'm not involved in the processing activities, but I monitor the activities.
Right.
So what does this look like in a practical sense? I conduct assessments, compliance assessments, so you go into the different divisions, the different business units, and look at what they're doing and ensure that it is in accordance with our policies. And our policies are developed and customized based on what is set out in the legislation there.
All right. So you spoke a little bit. I was going to come to ask you about your specific role, but not a problem. If there's a suspected or confirmed data breach involving personal information, what are the protocols that kick in at the point of a suspected or confirmed breach of personal information?
Thank you for that question, George. There is a requirement under the Data Protection Act to treat with matters as it relates to personal data breach or suspected breaches, because whether or not you have confirmed that there's a breach, if you suspect that there's a breach, there's an obligation there. Once it's a possibility that it may affect personal data. We have an internal process, an incident response process internally. In fact, recently we conducted a tabletop simulation to look at our incident response process as it relates to cyber incidents, which is quite prevalent nowadays. The adage is that if you have not experienced a cyber breach, you may at some point, either you know that you have experienced one, or you don't know that you have experienced one, because one might be happening as we speak. Right. So we have an incident response process, and once there's a suspected incident, that process is triggered. Now, as the data protection officer, I have a responsibility to ensure that the agency is aware of its reporting obligations. And that is, we have an obligation to report the matter to the Office of the Information Commissioner within 72 hours upon becoming aware that there is an incident or a suspected incident that may affect data subjects. Also, we have an obligation to report, to advise or to inform the affected data subjects of the incident. And of course, this advisory contains a number of certain types of information that will help them to understand the nature of the breach and how we are treating with it in terms of protecting the individuals there.
Yes. All right. That's good. You spoke last week about the recourse available to members of the public. They can report to you or they can go to the Information Commissioner. But just restate, how can members of the public or a data subject contact the agency regarding data protection matters?
Great. Right. So you may contact the agency through our website at www.jca.gov.jm, navigate to our Contact Us page, and submit your concern using the Customer Relationship and Contact form. You may also do so utilizing our email address, the email address for the Customer Service and Public Relations branch.
Yes.
And that is public.relations@jca.gov.jm. I must also add, George, that if you want to learn about how it is you may exercise your rights under the Data Protection Act, you may also contact the Data Protection Officer directly at dpo.jca.gov.jm.
And how quick is what's a reasonable time for a person who sends an email to any of the portals that you just indicated to get a response?
So we try to ensure that you get an initial response within 24 hours at least. But bear in mind that depending on the nature of your concern, that it may take a little bit more time to resolve. But I want to go back to a very important right that you have as an individual.
Yes.
The right to have access to your information. Now, the right to access your information is done in the form of what we call a data subject access request. And the law has prescribed a timeline within which we need to respond to that. So we have 30 days to respond.
Yes. But crucially, you're saying when I send that email, you are initially likely to respond within 24 hours.
Within 24 hours.
Gotten your request and we're working on it.
And we're working on it.
There you go. So I guess the final thing to ask, Desmond, is, the customs agency's message to the public about data protection, how seriously they treat data protection, and how important it is for the JCA to ensure that information shared by its stakeholders remains private and is kept private.
Great question, George. Thank you for that, because it is very important for the general public to understand that we do take their personal data seriously and handling that information with great care to ensure that it is adequately safeguarded and that it is used only in accordance with the rule of law. But the point I want to make is that this has to be a shared responsibility. So you have to also take an interest in safeguarding your information. And while we're doing what we need to do in accordance with the law to protect it, by ensuring that, yes, there's a data protection officer employed to monitor compliance and that we have internal processes to treat with the compliance requirements. If you have concerns, you need to raise those concerns. If you are faced with a matter that you believe is suspicious, let's say that you have been contacted by someone purporting to be a member of the customs agency, and you're not certain about that contact, we want you to let us know so that we can investigate that, because there has to be accountability, and we want to make sure that your information is protected. We want to make sure that we're doing all that is necessary to build trust among our stakeholders.
Excellent, sir. That's a good way to end. Desmond Pringle, Data Protection Officer at the Jamaica's Customs Agency, my guest on Inside Customs this week. Thank you, Desmond.
It's been a pleasure, George.
Excellent. This has been a production of Nationwide 90 FM and the Jamaica Customs Agency.
That was Inside Customs, brought to you by the Jamaica Customs Agency, country above self.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:16.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The Temperature by Fontana Pharmacy. It's all good inside is
28 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, also 28 out west in Montego Bay. In Mandeville, still 23 degrees Celsius.
From April 11 to May 2, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs opens Saturdays 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. for collecting expungement letters and ministers' marriage licenses only. Please note, no application processing will take place during these days. Call 876-906-4923-31 or WhatsApp 876-851-3287. The Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs. Justice at your convenience. Informative, educational, insightful. Let's talk justice. Tackling topics like constitutional rights and reform, domestic violence, and rights issues that affect you. Let's talk justice every Monday from 1 to 2 p.m. on Nationwide 90 FM. Call in, share your thoughts, be empowered, know your rights, and let's talk justice, ensuring access to justice for all, courtesy of Jamaicans for Justice.
the following is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Tune in to OPM On Air every Tuesday from 10:30 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on Cliff Hughes Online. Each week, government ministers engage directly with the public, answering questions, addressing concerns, and sharing important national updates. OPM On Air, your voice, your government, your conversation.
The proceeding was brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning. So the Ministry of Education has issued a statement in relation to that viral video involving students in blue uniform assaulting another pair. So the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information has directed an immediate investigation following the emergence of a disturbing video showing students in school uniform violently, physically assaulting a fellow student at what appears to be a prominent corporate area high school. The ministry categorically condemns this extremely violent action and reaffirms its zero tolerance position on bullying and violence in all educational institutions across Jamaica. Student safety remains the ministry's paramount concern, and swift action is being taken to address this serious incident. The ministry is deploying specialized teams to the school involved to meet with administration and students as part of the ongoing investigation. The ministry is working diligently with the leadership of the school to identify all parties involved to ensure appropriate disciplinary and corrective measures are implemented. The Minister of Education, Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon, says this disturbing incident represents everything that they stand against in the education system. She says violence and bullying have no place in our schools and that the ministry will use every resource at its disposal to ensure those responsible face appropriate consequences. Minister Morris-Dixon says we are committed to creating safe learning environments where every student can thrive without fear. The ministry is calling on parents, guardians, and community members to join in taking an active role in preventing such incidents by reporting any knowledge of bullying through the appropriate and responsible channels to seek redress and militate against this scourge. Early intervention and community cooperation are essential in maintaining safe school environments. Senator Marlon Morgan, the Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, along with Richard Troop, Director for Safety and Security in Schools, and regional team members will be visiting the affected school to aid in the conduct of the matter and provide therapeutic support as needed. Now, the ministry has said in its statement that it's moving to assure the public that the matter will be dealt with and that all key stakeholders remain steadfast in their commitment to maintaining a safe and resilient education system that protects all students. And of course, it says further updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. Joining us now for a conversation on what the Minister of Education has gathered so far and what the actions it will take will be, Parliamentary Secretary and the Minister of Education, Senator Marlon Morgan. Good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Tana. Let me say good morning to your listeners. Thanks for having me. I just want to indicate at the outset, though, that our investigation into this matter is at a very preliminary stage, which is part of why a team from the ministry, to be led by me, will be embarked on a probe, a visit to the school in question to kind of ascertain further and better particulars, and more importantly, engage with the student body and other stakeholders with a view to impress upon the student body that we know and are mindful of the challenges in the wider Jamaican society vis-a-vis violence and even bullying, because we appreciate at the ministry that our schools are but a microcosm of the Jamaican society at large. And so the challenges that manifest in the wider society will from time to time, or may from time to time, manifest at our schools. So the important thing for us this morning is to ascertain certain better and further particulars, but at the same time provide some requisite guidance and counseling support and engage with the stakeholders from a school safety and security standpoint, because we are of the view that our schools are to be safe, empowering, wholesome, and of course secure environments that are conducive to the teaching and learning of our students and of course their personal growth and development.
So, Senator,
and to the extent that you have violence there, it undermines that. We have a zero tolerance approach toward that.
Senator, as you
Morning, George.
as you embark on this fact-finding mission, yeah?
Yes, sir.
What do you have in your hand already apart from the video?
So what we have ascertained is that the Dean of Discipline at the school in question would also have been, apprised of, would have had the video, would have been apprised of the development and the fact that it is Jamaica College in this instance, but also that steps are being taken to try and identify the young men who are, at the center of this particular incident, and ensure that we are, from a ministry standpoint, in a position to ascertain certain facts and, of course, provide the appropriate intervention and support, because largely, while you will have the appropriate disciplinary measures and intervention ensuing, we at the ministry place a premium on providing the support that will effect requisite and desired behavior change, George and Turner.
All right. So at this, I note your disclaimer, but you are the one here. You're gonna have to face questions that really you shouldn't be the one answering. But anyways, so the Dean of Discipline is in custody of the video. Was the Dean of Discipline aware of the incident before the video was sent to him or her?
I'm not able to say definitively. I have just conveyed to you on national radio the information that has come across my desk, in that the Dean of Discipline has had custody of the video, would have had sight of what is depicted in that video, and will be seeking to identify the young men involved. As to when precisely he would have come into knowledge of this particular development, I can't say definitively.
All right. The principal, have you, so the first point of contact for you was perhaps the Dean of Discipline. Have you reached out to the principal yet? Was he the one, I don't know how it works. Do you get an invitation to a school where there's an incident worthy of the probe, or you tell them that you're coming?
So it is my understanding that the ministry personnel would have reached out to the principal, and it is consequent on that dialogue that the school will be undertaking their devotional exercise, the usual Monday morning General Assembly, I would imagine, and getting settled. And my visit in terms of the ministry support personnel will ensue later on this morning, around about 10 o'clock thereabouts. And that has not necessarily, how we go about it, it's not so much an overture on the part of the school leadership, but more so a collaborative spirit and engagement where the principal recognizes that there is a value, George and Tana, to be derived from support and, engagement by key ministry personnel who have the specialized skill sets and the competence to add value in a moment such as this. Because we recognize that though it is Jamaica College in this instance, it may well be other schools. It's just that this matter was caught on video.
Yeah.
We know that bullyism, the scourge of bullyism and violence, is still, unfortunately, in our midst. And it is for us to continue to work in a concerted way to militate against it and, of course, stamp it out in all its manifestations.
One more for you before you go, because, again, there are so many questions you can't answer, and really you shouldn't be the one to answer them. But anyway, the ministry's role, so the school is to do, any disciplining has to come from the school and the school board.
Indeed.
The ministry's brief, not even brief, the ministry's responsibility in a matter like this is specifically what?
All right, so as you can imagine, the ministry generally has superintendents of school operations here in Jamaica, which is why we have safety and security policy. We have invested heavily in personnel. We have a senior director for school safety and security, and across our regions, our several regions, we have the respective regional school safety and security officers, and their responsibility is to work in a collaborative and concerted way with the stakeholders to ensure that our school plans, our public education institutions in particular, are in optimal condition to facilitate the safety and security of students, because people send their kids to school to learn and develop, not to be, trampled upon or have, as you said in your What's on My Mind this morning, George, have any hefty boxes or hefty blows landed on them. So our work is to ensure that the schools are outfitted. We know that there are resource challenges and not every school has the appropriate perimeter fencing in place. So it's a work in progress, and we build out as financial resources allow and ensure that schools are fitted with such things as metal detectors, for example. The other day I went to Orchards High following the unfortunate killing of a student based on an incident there a few weeks ago. And Orchards High is one of those schools that does have in place a metal detector.
Mm-hmm. All right. So 10:30 this morning, you should be there with Richard Drew?
I'll be there at 10, and we will have the engagement with the stakeholders in a respectful and, solutions-oriented way going forward.
Do you have any sway in how soon the school communicates to the media about something like this? Or communicates to the public in general?
As you can appreciate, my own personal style and that of the whole state government is to be front-facing and public engaging. So I will use my own approach to impress upon and my own philosophy vis-a-vis public education, public communication, and of course that front-facing posture to impress that upon Principal Robinson and the Jamaica College family this morning and beyond.
Hear you on that. Thank you for your time, sir.
All the best, George.
Parliament Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information. Senator Marlon Morgan. But at 8:29, all right, so a lot of things are happening this morning. Devotion is supposed to start or finish long time. It's almost 8:30. Yeah. So Principal Robinson, Chairman Hilton, I expected you gentlemen to be out with this thing already. But all right, maybe you're gathering information. All right, we won't rush that part of the process. But today shouldn't expire without the school putting on a record its reaction, its course of action to this incident, because the video hard to show, and as I said, it may seem straightforward to just show the video. It was a difficult decision. Cliff and I discussed it. I said, boy, look at the pros and the cons, the situation and the context, public interest, this, that, and then we said, well, all right, let's take a chance. You just have to contextualize it properly. I hope I did that, because you shouldn't really be putting in the media video of a child being assaulted, especially by another child. Well, regardless of who doing it, you have beat up a picnic. You shouldn't have that in the media just showing just like that. But for what we've been experiencing and encountering, the public interest, I think, was served this morning by the video being played in the What's on My Mind segment, and then in the news at 7. And I think that's it for the day for us. Yeah, because it's out there, and the ministry is on it, and boy, I can't. People have said to me that imagine if I'm my picnic. I'm not even allowing my mind to go there. I'm not allowing my mind to go there. Anyway, JC have a lot of work to do, and we all, it's not them alone, we all have a lot of work to do because it's a society problem. It's just that in some schools, they've done a better job managing it because they acknowledge that there's a problem. JC, it has to start with acknowledgement, gentlemen. It has to start with acknowledgement, and then we'll work from there. All right? We're not here to condemn you. We're here to help you to do your jobs better. And your job is to provide a safe environment for people to send them picnic to every day. Okay? No to gangsterism, no to bullyism, no to badman place. School and a badman place.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:32.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
If you love the vibes, the laughs, and the real talk, then you're one of us. Don't just listen, belong. Join the Nationwide 90 FM Family Club on Patreon.
Become a member of your credit union. 70 years from to build a reputation. Insurance, loan and investment. All your children's savings make dollars and cents. JBS and partners, cooperative credit union. Your financial partner for life. 70 years you made your choice. JBS and partners, cooperative credit union.
Hey, here now. Ton, I can't even talk about what happened to Arsenal yesterday. That's for a later time of the show where you have serious business to deal with. Do that first, and then we talk about the Gunners.
We're turning our attention back to the region, where the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has confirmed that 6 people have been detained in connection with the ongoing investigation into the homicide of a police officer and the theft of several firearms and ammunition at the Kings Wharf compound in San Fernando. And joining us on the line is a TV6 journalist out of Trinidad, Cindy Raghubar Tikar Singh. Good morning to you, Cindy.
Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Davis, Ms. Thomas.
Thank you so much for joining us here.
Cindy, no, hold on. Cindy's George and Tona.
George and Tona.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Cindy. We understand that you're at the police station.
Yes, I am.
Can you provide us with a further update as to what you've gathered so far in relation to this matter of the killing of the police corporal and the theft of dozens of firearms and ammunition from that police station?
Yes, well, I did return to the police station this morning with, in the sense of getting an update. It appears that the station is back open. I've been seeing people in and out. Officers, they're not a strong presence as there was yesterday, obviously, in the wake of the WPC's murder I did hear you in your introduction, and yes, I can confirm that the police commissioner did give an update this morning that 6 people have been detained, 2 of which are municipal police officers. There was an emergency press conference called yesterday, and the commissioner did indicate that it appeared then that it was not an external hit and something that might have been internal, and we're seeing that unfold today with the arrest of 2 municipal police officers.
And was the police commissioner able to provide more information on that as to what they're theorizing?
Well, out of these 6, they did not give too much details, but of the 6 people detained, like I said, 2 police officers, 2 women, and 2 other men. We understand that there are raids and searches in some of the communities that these individuals live in, still taking place this morning. When we spoke with the commissioner yesterday, they did not give a tally of how many weapons were officially listed as stolen, but they did indicate that it's about 22 weapons were recovered this morning and just over 600 rounds of ammunition. They said it was a substantial amount of that stolen, but of course not the full amount that the people would have made off with yesterday, those criminals.
And Cindy, has the police been able, or you been able to gather information in relation to the circumstances? Because the articles we've seen did not say if the police corporal was by herself. Was she manning the station by herself?
Right. So that was a concern that a lot of people had yesterday, but in the press conference, I did ask that specifically. The head of the municipal police would have indicated that around 7 people were listed to be scheduled at that station. They did not go into details as to if all 7 were present at the time she was murdered, but they did say she was not alone. That's as much as they would have revealed to us. But she was not alone at the time of her murder.
Cindy, I know that we in this profession have to tread carefully. We can't follow the various lines that are emerging on social media as to what may be at play here. But let me ask you this. Have you picked up anything to suggest that the weapons and ammunition were being taken as part of a delivery to people who were buying them? In other words, they were paid for and they did what they did at the station, killing a colleague, to take them out to fulfill that order. Have you heard anything about that? And is there any credibility to that based on what you're picking up?
No, I haven't heard. That line of speculation that you're alluding to there. No.
But have you picked up anything as to what may happen? Because it seems very, very, well, it's not even odd, it's extraordinary that you do that, break into an armory, steal weapons and ammunition just like that. There must be a reason. So is there any line of inquiry swirling around the issue so far, preliminarily?
Not as far as the police would have revealed. The only thing they would have said is that they believe it to be, the evidence suggests that this is a one-off situation. They did urge the population not to panic about it. So some people have been calling for a state of emergency. Security experts here have been saying that, of course, people should be worried about this evolving boldness of criminals and even those linked to state apparatus. One local security consultant would have said, it could see a fueling and an escalation of violence with these weapons now being added to the hands of criminals. But so far, no information as to the intent of those weapons that were stolen.
Another thing that people have been asking, Cindy, how, in the TNT situation, aren't firearms kept at a central armory? Is it customary or is it widespread across the country for individual police stations to have the kind of firepower stored that was at this facility?
We did try to ask that because we have heard from police officers saying that no, it is customary for firearms, a certain amount to be kept at individual police stations. Of course, you have private citizens being able to lodge their firearms at police stations. In this instance, no personal firearms were stolen from the batch, but we understand that yes, certain police stations do have an armory, armories at different police stations. It is customary, but they did not want to go into details as to if that's a widespread thing, if it's all police stations, if it's certain police stations, for fear of obviously that information getting into the
wrong hands. And broadly speaking, the security situation in the country under this new administration. We know that Fitzgerald Hines and company struggled when they had charge of national security. There were some green shoots, signs of progress in the early days of Kamla Prasad Bisesar and company. What's the situation? Is it any better? Is there any real signs of improvement? Has this come as a setback to the administration in their job to manage crime and violence?
In the wake of yesterday's incident, of course, there was a lot of concern. You're seeing a lot of fear in the public and what they think about what has happened, this escalation, it appears to be. But if you ask the administration, if you ask the Minister of Homeland Security and even the police commissioner, they're saying that this is an isolated event and the SOE that we're currently under is working. They've spoken of a 30% reduction in serious crime, 13% reduction in terms of murders. And so they're saying this particular incident does not reflect the work that they've been doing, and they feel that they've been doing a good job. But of course, when you speak to people just on the street and when you go into communities, they're still grappling with home invasions and that sort of thing. So,
yeah.
And just before we let you go as well, Cindy, another matter in your country in relation to the 50 infants and 6 adults that were dumped in a graveyard in Trinidad and Tobago. Any update on that one?
All right, well, the latest update we got would have been yesterday. It's not a story I particularly covered too closely, but what I can tell you is that the main point and the emphasis that they're trying to stress is that these bodies aren't related to crimes or murders per se, but linked to a medical institution that would have likely contracted another entity to dispose of unclaimed bodies. At this point, the TTPS, they're still trying to determine all of the identities of the bodies and speak to different medical institutions to ascertain the link between, how that could have happened and what laws have been broken. The police commissioner said it really comes down to the illegal disposal of cadavers versus, criminal acts against these victims, these bodies. Sorry.
Cindy Rakabar Tikar Singh, a TV6 journalist out of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you. No problem at all.
Right.
Have a good day.
Good, you too. And of course, by cadavers, Cindy means corpses. Yeah? Break time, back with more after this.
Decorate like a designer with BH Paints. The time brought to you by BH Paints is
8:43.
Such a feeling's coming over me. There is wonder in most everything I see. Not a cloud in the sky, got the sun in my eyes, and I won't be surprised if it's a dream. Everything I want the world to be is now coming true, especially for me. And the reason is clear, it's because you are here. You're the nearest thing to heaven that I've seen.
And City are top of the league and looking down at the corner saying, Brethren, oh no, what so? Arsenal fans. Let me tell you this. I have an open letter. What the letter there? Tana, you do me letter. Tana, give me the letter in the book. Give me the book there. Just slide. No, just push over the book. Give me the whole book. I'm going to read, Jermaine, an open letter to the Arsenal manager, Mikel Arteta. And this open letter to the Arsenal, King, you can't give me a single camera. Yeah? Brethren, we don't want the Chelsea fan.
Lord have mercy.
We beat up Saturday.
Mention that.
Hey, we don't go message
We're
you.
not talking about Chelsea.
We don't message you.
We're talking about Arsenal.
We don't go message you. We don't stress you. We don't trouble you. But the king. Come on, king. So, this is an open letter to Mikel Arteta, Armenian, the Arsenal manager. It's coming from a Manchester United supporter. Dear Mr. Arteta, cut out the foolishness. Sincerely, Manchester United fan.
Short and to the point. Cuts out.
You don't need nothing else. Play the tune, king.
Oh my goodness. Donovan says Arsenal needs a wheel alignment and balancing. Oh my goodness. And Dennis Barnaby, good morning, Dennis, says Arsenal cereal bottlers.
Tana, the whole Arsenal squad, they need worm medicine.
Oh my goodness.
They need to wash out and build back.
And Leonard Seville seems to be a Manchester City fan. Says Manchester City going on top of the league Wednesday when they beat Burnley. Okay.
But we can't say the count points before them come here. Oh no, that's a dangerous game.
Yeah.
We haven't won the title in a long time, but we know how to win titles, and we don't count 3 points before them come, Bridget. Count them after, but not before.
Kingsley Graham says George, call Wayne.
Boy, you know what I plan to do? We plan to get a portion and buckle and put power in this morning.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
But it's not over. But boy, it look how we.
Frank says Arsenal need to visit St. Thomas Mineral Bath. And then Leonard says Liverpool for life. Okay, good morning, Leonard.
Hey, everything, man, them want worm out, and yes, them need to go take a little bath. And while them up there, tell them to go look for a mother woman named Miss Afu. They didn't even spend 2 hours with Miss Afu.
Utinel says George, them need tarox and herbs.
That's right. Yeah, that's a real thing.
God.
Even if it's wash out clean and build back from scratch and then put them back on the right path. Yeah, man. Worm medicine, man, them need. Man.
Donovan says, Wayne and Tyrone, where are you?
Man, them have worm. That's the only logical explanation. As I said in a video yesterday on social media. I know science I'm work on answer one next subject.
Good one. Barrington says, George, when Leeds beat you the other day, you went silent.
That's right. But we beat up Chelsea Saturday, so we attack. Tada can't talk to me.
It's one goal.
It don't matter, 3 points. One goal equals 3 points. 50 goal equals same 3 points. Tada.
Beat up suggests like I give you a 6-0.
It don't matter, I still take a 3 points. Me take a 3 points. That better what?
Oh my goodness. Trisha says, George, you know win nothing. You know win nothing in how long?
No. We talk about.
He just
I win things regular, man. I win cups, a little Mickey Mouse cup. But at least I win them. And I agree that they are Mickey Mouse cups, but I win them. Okay. So no style
that
thing.
says Chelsea is my team. Win, lose or draw. Yeah, man. Straight blues.
Arsenal. There was a place in Jamaica. I don't know where it was. Like this sports bar. After the result, every Arsenal fan in there had a face like thunder. And there was a Manchester United supporter in there. I had out buckle of water. And everybody I get buckle.
Oh my goodness.
It was funny.
I saw that.
Yeah,
it was on Daniel's status.
Yeah, but I don't buckle. Hey, I saw a lady. I saw a girl.
Oh gosh, somebody said Tana said get a Bob Marley.
Yeah, man. One love. Yeah, man. Wicked comment that. You hold on for the Bob Marley.
That's funny.
Yeah. So it Sunday wasn't a good day. No Arsenal fan dinner never tastes good yesterday. Done.
Glenn Bill's blues to the world, and then Donovan says one Man United.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Birthday time.
That time of the morning when we tell some very special people happy birthday and happy anniversary. Seeing here, happy birthday greetings going out to our friends on Facebook. Amoy Legendary, Wendy Darian, or Darian Wendy Darian. Happy birthday to you, Wendy. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Tashika Thompson, Tiffany Morris, Kathy Chin, Shandy Akeem Shandy. Happy birthday to you. Donna Dixon, Camille Davis. Happy birthday. Wishing for you guys a lovely day. And happy 79th birthday to Bernie Ross from your friends and family. Happy birthday to you. And there's a song request for Bernie Germain, Forever Young. His family and friends are requesting this one, Forever Young. So happy birthday to you, Bernie Ross, 79 years old today. Happy birthday greetings also going out to Omar Frith, Executive Director there at the SDC. Happy birthday to you.
Yes, I saw him at, Cliff and I bumped into him at Conference Center the other day. Good morning, Omar. Happy birthday, man. All the best.
Happy birthday
That's Kevin
as well.
Fritz's brother.
Right.
Mhm.
Happy birthday as well to Wendy Campbell Titus, a victim support there in Trelawney. Norris Dr. Harvey in Westmoreland. Easton Vidal or Vidal, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday as well to Councillor Fabian Davis there in Duncan Trelawney. Happy birthday to you, Councillor. Mark Bent, happy birthday. And all of these greetings are coming from Sergeant Wayne Wallace. Happy birthday greetings going out to Leslie Hilton. Greetings coming from Faithful. Happy birthday to you, Leslie from Faithful. Wishing for you a great day. And to our fam bams, we have some family members of the family club celebrating their birthdays this morning. Happy birthday greetings going out to family club member Lisa K Hibbert. If it is that you're watching on the Nationwide 90 FM live channel right now, you're over on YouTube, you will see that beautiful birthday card we have posted for you, Lisa K Hibbert. So it's your birthday today, special lady. Happy birthday to you, Lady Lisa K Hibbert.
Hello, Lisa K Hibbert.
Wishing for you a lovely day.
Hello.
And belated happy birthday greetings going out to Norma Sherman, family member Norma Sherman. It was your birthday, so belated happy birthday to you. And we're hoping that you had a fabulous day. And just a reminder, a reminder to our family members, our family club members. Reminder to also inform family club members that they must contact us at familyclub@nationwidenewsnetwork.com. That's familyclub@nationwidenewsnetwork.com or 876-630-1210, 876-630-1210 for prizes and to submit photos for your birthday and anniversary shoutouts.
Excellent. You know, yesterday, to show you how football powerful. Yesterday after Arsenal lost that game to Man City, it marked one of those rare occasions where men locked shop.
I get it. I don't know, George.
Tana,
the men would,
believe me, the Arsenal result was such, I am certain my Arsenal supporting brothers, if you ask them, the dinner tastes like bolo slush, the ice cream tastes like eucalyptus oil, and they locked shop. Okay? Don't talk. And I never late for going to work this morning. Our business owner, they opened their business place late this morning.
Wow. Was it that bad?
No.
I certainly, saw all over my status on WhatsApp. Different fans just cheering the Arsenal people.
My brethren from Connex.
Ridiculing them.
My brethren from Connex, Troy. Morning, Troy. I call Troy and I say, yo, we'll check if you're alright.
Oh, goodness.
Sometimes me call back. He said, no, don't call me back.
Check my back Wednesday. Check my back Wednesday. I'm seeing here as well, Cordia White Dempster. This one says, 1 year ago, April 19, I promised forever. Now I understand it. Forever is your hand in mine. It's the peace you bring home. It's choosing each other every day, even on the hard ones. You and me together. I don't worry because everything is going to be all right. They say year one is paper, but nothing about us feels fragile. You've made this year feel unbreakable. I love you more than I did at I do. And tomorrow, I love you more than today. Forever yours, your husband, Minister Ronaldo Dempster. So happy, yeah man, for sure. Happy anniversary to the Dempsters, Cordia White Dempster and Minister Ronaldo Dempster celebrating their 1 year anniversary today.
All right, there's a lot in the YouTube chat. We're going to do all of them. So Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith says, belated birthday greetings to Lady Aishika Wint of the Rose Hall Wesleyan Holiness Church. May God continue to bless you throughout the year. Lady Aishika Wint, happy birthday belatedly to you from Vivacious Verlene Hall Smith.
Also seeing here 876 Thelma sending belated happy birthday greetings, and it just jumped.
All right, Ione says, happy birthday to my dear son Travis Shackelford. You're a blessing. Love you. Have a great day. So Travis Shackelford, your mom Ione, sending birthday blessings to you.
Dennis Barnaby sending happy birthday to mom in Westmoreland in the Ashton district. Most people refer to her as Miss Maid or Auntie Madge. So Auntie Madge, belated happy birthday to you from your son Dennis and the rest of your family.
Patricia Walker says, happy birthday to Patricia from Dallas. So like you send greetings to yourself and Patricia. But anyway, no matter. Happy birthday to you, Patricia Walker, up there in Dallas. Is Dallas, Texas, or is Dallas Mountains? Dallas Mountain in St. Andrew. Whichever way, Dallas said there, happy birthday to you, Patricia. All the best.
Gatty MC sending happy birthday to Carlisha Brown. I pray God blesses you and keeps you. All the best on your birthday. Frank White sending happy birthday to Patricia Walker. Patricia Walker, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you. Stargirl sending happy birthday wishes to her sister and brother-in-law, Bev and Byron. Oh, it's an anniversary greeting. So happy anniversary greeting to Bev and Byron, celebrating 30 years of marriage. Happy anniversary to them, coming from Stargirl.
And Gatty MC, they say, oh, you got Carlisha Brown already. Okay, so Trisha Foster says, wish my mother Avril happy belated birthday from all the children and grandchildren and daughters in Cow. Yeah, so Avril, your birthday was on Sunday. Your children, your grandchildren, and your daughter-in-law sending a lot of love your way and wishing that you're still celebrating and that you enjoy the post-birthday celebrations.
Claudine Atkinson sending happy birthday to her boss, Gabby Malatino. Good morning to you, Gabby. It's your birthday today. Happy birthday to you, coming from Claudine Atkinson.
C. Hilton says, blessed birthday greetings to Leslie Hilton. Faithful. Morning, Faithful. Celebrating his birthday today. It's coming from his wife, his daughter, other family members, and friends with much love and blessings. So Leslie Hilton, a.k.a. Faithful, the wife, and the whole clan sending happy birthday greetings to you.
Viv Gooden sending congratulations to Shara and Alistair on the birth of their daughter, Alexi Rose. Welcome to the world, Alexi Rose. So Viv Gooden there sending congratulations to the parents, Shara and Alistair. And Katie Buello sending belated happy birthday to her second child who celebrated her day on the 18th of April. Goodness and mercy all your life must surely follow you, and in God's house forevermore your dwelling place must be. We love you. So belated happy birthday to you.
Rupert Wilson says, happy birthday to my son Shiv Narayan from Morant Bay. I love you, son. Have a wonderful day. So Shiv from Morant Bay, your daddy Rupert Wilson, sending birthday greetings to you, and he says he loves you as he wishes you a wonderful day.
Did you see this one from Horatio JM?
No.
Sending happy birthday greetings to Yannick Todd, and may your day be filled with joy and beautiful memories. So happy birthday to you, Yannick.
Dorothy Samuels says, happy belated birthday to my sister-in-law Joy Cephas. So Joy Cephas, your sister-in-law Dorothy Samuels, sending belated happy birthday greetings to you, Joy.
Jean Sellers sending happy birthday to niece Denise Elliott, aka Gal from her daughter Britannia and the Ballards Valley Massive. They're saying to you, we love you. So Gal, Denise Elliott, happy birthday to you.
Gal, boy, man. I've heard all of them. Yeah. Love it. Did you do Charmaine McLeod from Dover? 876 Thelma says, belated birthday to my sister Charmaine McLeod in Dover. Enough love. Charmaine McLeod in Dover it is. Your sister 876 Thelma says she loves you as she wishes you, sending you birthday greetings even though your birthday has passed.
Yeah. Monica here sending belated happy birthday greetings to Javon Green. The birthday was on Friday, Javon, so belated happy birthday greetings to you, and it's coming from your grandma.
Boy, so much happened over the weekend and this morning. We not even say talk about such, man. Music man for the Sunday, man. The commander, man. Desmond McKenzie. Morning, sir. I was in a certain place not near here recently, and the people every time they say I go on good. They say I go on good. Them don't want to tell me to my face so they must support you, but I get the impression, say, boy, all the foreign you gone, you know, buy out the bar.
Sonia Campbell here, sending belated happy birthday greetings to beautiful niece Latoya Sinclair. Her birthday was on Saturday, so belated happy birthday to Latoya from your aunt, Sonia Campbell. And a final one as we go, see Hilton sending birthday blessings to brother Samuel Kids of 65 Waltham Park Church from the Hiltons. So happy birthday blessings to you, Samuel Kids from the Hiltons.
And one more, Ina Brown says, happy birthday to my brother, Carbet Brown. So Carbet Brown, your sister, Ina Brown, sending birthday greetings to you. And Kerry Mark says, George, my partner never talked yesterday. He's an Arsenal fan. So me tell you, Tana, the Arsenal man, them lock shop last night. And if the women are not skillful, they're in for a tough week. No. They're in for a soft week. They're in for a soft week.
As we go. Marie Brooks sending belated happy birthday greetings to Sister Carmen Morgan from Canada, who is somewhere in Jamaica celebrating her Nuff birthday. So belated happy birthday greetings to you, Carmen Morgan, and enjoy your trip, your time here in Jamaica. That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide This Morning, NTM. Thanks so much to our technical operator, Jermaine King, our super producer, Michelle McCrae Smith, and our super editor, Kimon Thompson. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton, and at 10, Cliff News Online. I'm Tana.
And I'm George.
Good morning.
You just heard Nationwide This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM.